arrived.
We here, baby. What's up, man? HotepCon 2022. Second annual. It's up.
Who's going to court? Hotep. Where's she at? Did you tell her to come to passenger pickup?
It's lit. Kim, it's Hotep Jesus. We'll be back.
Yeah, we're just talking about that today. Got the balloons.
No, he really flew with clear. He flew Spirit Airlines. Who flies Spirit Airlines? On purpose. Who does that? You never catch me.
I've seen it.
Yo, I ain't never flying Frontier again. Jump seats. Every scene with the jump
Did I tell you about that?
Every scene with the jump seat. It hurt.
Frontier's like
Wow.
it's just a glorified spirit.
Didn't I just tell y'all they be having them jump seats, yo? That's what they call jump seats.
The entire plane jump seat.
Yes.
Nothing but blues to play.
You got nothing but camera.
You?
Everybody from Montreal used to play that. That was a classic.
That was a classic?
Yeah.
That's amazing. That was a classic.
Was it?
That shit came out.
N.I.E.
Yeah.
No, because it was the one, something that was doing that one.
Super Thug.
Yeah, Super Thug.
Yeah, the one with
It
Big
had
Pun
the
on
one,
it.
yeah, the one with Pun on it. That was a classic.
That was
That was a good
song
album.
in the
That
album.
was a good album. Orange, yeah, orange.
Orange with the orange drink.
Orange drink.
I hear it's orange drink. I can't hear you now.
Oh, no. We doing bad out here, people.
The hot, yeah.
We doing
Hot
bad out
spicy or
here.
the hot?
No, the spicy.
They gonna go on the internet, they gonna say these niggas is some
No,
fake
not the hot,
Hoteps.
yeah.
They not following the Dr. Sebi diet. This nigga just ordered a chicken sandwich. Cannon just
4 beef
opened,
spicy
just
chicken.
ordered a Big Mac.
You know, this nigga just ordered sawdust with salt on it.
Hey yo, Brody, turn mine into another one.
And then
No pickles on my Big Mac.
Pause.
you seen the show Hotep's Been Told You? All right, look it up right now on your phone while I'm waiting for my food. Hotep Jesus right there. So tell all the crew. You just waited on.
Jeez, Lord.
You guys can use these for Hotep Been Told You, or we could do this high top like we did. Oh baby, it's so lit. It's so lit. We got our wonderful Lady Hoteps here. Trish. This is such a wonderful guy. Exactly. Shit looking professional. This is Cisco and sponsor.
Nice.
Yeah. He brought the bandage over, so I'm gonna. Welcome. Got two of my moms here with me. I'm in heaven right now. Move that table over to the left a little bit.
Okay.
This is
You see him finesse a little white girl out of a fresh cup of coffee and Starbucks. Well, from Hotep Jesus. And y'all know him, y'all love him. The Paul Purveyor himself. Uncle Hotep, get your ass out here.
Thank you, Ken. Everybody, clap for Ken Hotep.
We go in for real, it ain't got no chill. Teach me how to grip, teach me how to grip. Teach me how to grip, teach me how to grip. Hotep and build, y'all know the deal. We go in for real, it ain't got no chill. Teach me how to grip, teach me how to grip. Teach me how to grip, teach me how to grip. Save the date if you not.
What I heard, and what is probably true, it was invented in Tijuana, Mexico, in a restaurant called Caesar. So I always pay homage to the people that invent something in somewhere, and I like to bring some limes in because that's more Mexican than lemons. But so we're gonna mix them both to make some perfect Caesar dressing. Classic ingredient, Worcestershire sauce. My own touch to the classic Caesar, a little Tabasco.
I like to say that it is an absolute blessing to be in the presence of people and have you guys with me tonight. And only a female God can make something like that happen. Let's bless the hands that prepared this food, and let's bless the mouths that will enjoy this food. In Mother God's name, amen. Amen, woman, right?
Most of you will be replaced by AI, but it doesn't have to be this way. You can become AI resistant, but you will need to outperform the machines. You may not think this is possible, but it is. The infiniteness of human consciousness is more infinite than the power of the machine. You may not know how to tap into this power, but we do, and we will show you how. Join us in this journey to make the machine our servant. Most of you will be replaced by AI, but you will need to outperform the machines. You may not think this is possible, but it is. The infiniteness of human consciousness is more infinite than the power of the machine. You may not know how to tap into this power, but we do, and we will show you how. Join us in this journey to make the machine our servant. Most of you replaced by AI. But it doesn't have to be this way. You can become AI resistant, but you will need to outperform the machines. You may not think this is possible, but it is. The infiniteness of human consciousness is more infinite than the power of the machine. You may not know how to tap into this power, but we do, and we will show you how. Join us in this journey to make the machine our servant. Most of you will be replaced by AI. But it doesn't have to be this way. You can become AI resistant, but you will need to outperform the machines. You may not think this is possible, but it is. The infiniteness of human consciousness is more infinite than the power of the machine. You may not know how to tap into this power, but we do, and we will show you how. Join us in this journey to make the machine our servant.
That Hotep Jesus dude.
Wait a second. Wait a second. My camera frozen? Wait a second.
Most of you.
What the fuck is going on? Oh my God. This is hilarious. Okay. Let me think for a second. Okay, let's try this. And that. Okay, that didn't work. Wow. Okay, that's a new problem. It's a fairly new problem. Hold on. Okay. Wow. Yeah. So I'll be right. Okay, that was strange. Definitely really strange. Never saw that problem happen before. Anyway.
That Hotep Jesus dude. That Hotep Jesus dude.
We back. Little technical difficulties. Maybe Mars is in retrograde or some shit like that. I don't know what the hell is going on. It's a grifty Tuesday, y'all. It's a grifty Tuesday. Welcome to the Grift Report. Hit the subscribe button. If you already did that, hit the like button. Jig the algo. Jiggy, 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 jig the algo. I am
Hotep Jesus. I love that guy. He's terrific.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Shout out to my rumblers on Rumbler. My rumblers on Rumble rumbling. Okay, we're good on Rumble. And we're good on YouTube. All right. Perfect. Shout out to my sponsor, Syscoin, best of Bitcoin, the best of Ethereum. They got some new stuff coming out. If you're in the Patreon, I'm gonna make an exclusive announcement. I have black people telling me that they tip well. We'll be talking about black people and tipping. But I got an exclusive announcement coming from the Syscoin team. I got a lot going on. So much to keep track of. But if you want to get into crypto, I definitely suggest taking a look at the Syscoin project, reading the material written by Jag. Lots of great stuff going on over there. Yeah, so like when I want to get my education, like my really good, like deep dive education on crypto, I basically went to the Syscoin website, pulled up their materials, and read Jack's white papers. He's got a bunch of white papers. I think some of them are medium, but you can find them on Syscoin. So if you guys want to really understand the beauty behind the tech, which I think is paramount to know when you're diving into this, and you want to be educated, you want to know exactly what you're investing in. So shout out to the Syscoin team. Also, if you're looking to get some Syscoin added to your wallet, you can do so at Binance. It's been a grifty morning. It's been a very grifty morning. A lot griftier than yesterday. We're going to start off with some NASA culture. We're going to start the Grift Report off today with some NASA culture. Hold on, let me throw this up on your screen here. Oh, man, I had to reset, so of course it wiped out my screens. All right, here we go. So they're coming out with a new color purple. I'll tell you the gig on this. Let's take a look at the trailer.
Today, our teacher taught us about a place called Africa. She say our mamas come from Queens over there. That means that we royalty.
I want you to pay attention to the aesthetic, the time period, the genders, the speech, because we're gonna dive into this and really break down the color purple for you and what it means to the world and black culture in America. Is it good? Is it bad?
I don't need you to love me.
Afternoon, I needs me a wife.
Even if we have to part, you and me, us have one heart.
I don't need.
Get off my land!
You.
I write you every day. Daddy! Nothing but death can keep me from it.
Oh, Miss Seeley.
You must ain't got no kinfolk around these parts.
All I had was my sister. She was the only one ever loved me. I'm gonna hold my head up. I'm gonna put my shoulders back.
It's time for you to see the world. There's gonna be some changes made.
Put it on.
This ain't me.
Hush. We need to look like we belong. Let's see this smile and color. Sweet and loving God.
Showing my heart to the folks that I'm close to.
Now we're talking. Dear Seeley, we are more than just kings and queens. We are at the center.
Oh man, I just got the warning. I just got the warning. We don't got to play any more of that. Let's dive into the aesthetic of the color purple. What's a good screen to stop on? This is good right there. So Hollywood is absolutely obsessed with suspending black people in this time period, a time period that, according to the history books controlled by the leftists, is not quite exactly the happiest time period. It's a time period of black struggle, black victimhood, black people being an extreme underclass. So they love to suspend us in this time period. Now, the original came out in the 80s. I think it was 84, 85, 86, something like that. And here we are about 30 years later, and it's time to reboot this concept for the next generation who had not seen the original Color Purple, starring Oprah, Whoopi Goldberg, Danny Glover, etc., etc. So now it's time to reboot that for the next generation, obviously the slave time period. So, what is the real motive here behind this movie? Well, it's to make men, particularly in this case, black men, look bad, to make black women hate black men. What they do is they take a very small segment of black men, the type that will abuse women in various types of ways, and then say, look, this is how black men treated black women during this time period. It's still happening today, etc., etc. So that's the play that's going to be. And you also notice the timing of it. This is going to come around Christmas Day. Halle Bailey's got Lil Mermaid. We're going to dive into that a little bit next. She's got a little bit of Mermaid coming out this weekend. Then there's another movie rolling out this summer. Then her sister has a movie rolling out. So there's like this whole rollout, getting you familiar with this Halle Bailey character. They're going to push a lot of black culture through Halle Bailey. And then Christmas Day is going to come out and black people are going to go out in droves and watch this movie. I'm definitely going to go watch it, mostly because I like to know the propaganda. I like to study the propaganda, and I'll probably do a movie review on it here on the Grift Report to highlight what I've seen. I've written a movie review about Demolition Man in the past. That's on menofwater.com. You guys can go read that, and I show you some of the dystopian parallels. But I'm definitely going to check this movie out so I can see what it is exactly that they're feeding my people. So yeah, I don't like that we always have to revisit this time period. There's so much history in various parts of the world, but they select this part of the world at this particular time on this side of the story. And that's what kills me, because there was a show coming out. It's about black men starting up banks once upon a time, and that got pigeonholed. We haven't seen that yet. I think it was supposed to be aired on Apple. I think it came on Apple. It just came and went. There was another one, Birth of a Nation, a play on that old movie that your boy, was it Woodrow Wilson that played it in the White House? So there's going to be a play on Birth of a Nation. It was produced and directed by a black man. They pulled up old allegations from college to not see, to basically deter people from watching this movie about a slave rebellion, because, they don't want to see slaves rebel. They don't want to see black men owning banks. They want oppression. They want to reinforce that in your mind. Anybody in the chat remember that movie of the black men who were starting the banks? Yeah, Birth of a Nation by Nate Parker. Somebody said that's the greatest black history movie since Malcolm X. Wow. Interesting. So yeah, as you know, this is a call-in show. We will open up phone lines in a moment, but first, let me get through the Grift bag. Let me go back in the Grift bag. I want to show you something very interesting. So as we know, Halle Bailey is coming out with The Little Mermaid this weekend, and this girl, Esther K., who I follow, says the CGI in The Little Mermaid is absolutely shocking. It's giving 2001 Nollywood vibes. And I just like to nominate her for one of the grifters of the day. Because what? Like, you're a woman and you're an expert on CGI now? Like, I'm not going to see the movie, but like, this whole thing about being upset that there's a black Little Mermaid is just really weird to me. And then just trying to find anything wrong with it as a grift so you can get a little bit of engagement. But the thing is, nobody cares. And look at your engagement. Your engagement is next to zero. You got one quote tweet and 33 likes. So was it worth it? Like, you had to like what? Like, what about this says bad CGI? It's a still, first of all. If you're going to tell us about bad CGI, at least play a video clip So yeah, it's really weird to see people hate on the Little Mermaid movie that you're not going to see. So it's two sides of this coin, right? It's like breaking down, the color purple and what's detrimental about it, but also like picking your battles. Like, is Little Mermaid the movie that we're gonna pick our battles with? Now, of course, there's gonna be some, cultural relevance about miscegenation that's introduced in that video, in that movie, and maybe that's it. But trying to reach and complain about the CGI just to get engagement seems like just a bit of a reach to me. If you're gonna criticize a movie, go hard or go home. Go hard or go home. But again, sometimes these women just don't know how to grift, and they just know the talking points and the things, and it's just funny because she's a reflection of what conservative, if we want to call it that, or red white Twitter, what they were complaining about. They were complaining about the Little Mermaid. So she knows this is a trigger for them. So she selected that and said, hey, I'm going to use this to try and get some engagement. But just goes to show you, it's almost like a mirror that shows you, what red white Twitter was complaining about. The Little Mermaid, because the Little Mermaid became black, if she can even be classified that. I think it would have been different if they casted the whole cast as black, but obviously we know that wasn't going to happen, because you can't have black royalty. Not in Hollywood, you can't. Got to have the white man save the black woman. Now that's the real play there. The white man saving the black woman. See, it's like, if you're going to complain about this shit, at least be on point. Don't be surface level. Go deeper. Don't just stop at, oh, they made the mermaid black. No, take it to the next level and really analyze what this movie's about. It's about miscegenation and the white man saving the black woman. Yes, she's black, but what is her relevance to the white man? But a lot of these people on the internet are mouth breathers, so they can't think that far. Let's go back in the grift bag. I got another video I want to play for y'all. Y'all remember when Biden was at Howard University giving his speech? Let's see what some of the students were saying about this.
This is the worst graduation of my life. This is a campaign speech.
He called it a campaign speech. He said Biden got up there on stage and gave a campaign speech. Campaign speech.
A campaign speech. You got this white man here, Howard. What is going on?
I would have given a better speech. I did give a better speech at my high school graduation. My high school graduation was a lot better than this bullshit. I'm really disappointed.
Howard, you disappointed us. Tremendous. Like,
We could have had Michael Jordan.
We could have had somebody who actually did something good for something good for the black community. You feel me?
I would have even been fine with 50 Cent. It wouldn't make sense.
Jay-Z.
Steph Curry. I don't know.
LeBron James.
Steph Curry's not even doing anything right now. It's time super for
Out of all the people,
I'm not
Howard.
listening to LeBron.
Oh my Lord.
I'm not listening to LeBron. LeBron doesn't have a degree.
Like, bro, what?
I have a degree. I have something that LeBron doesn't. My legacy's stronger.
Oh my God.
Now, there's a couple of things here I want to extrapolate. Look, dive deeply into. Number one, Howard brought a white man to speak at a black graduation. But not any white man. Jim Crow Joe. Lock 'em up Joe. Crime Bill Joe. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black Joe. Mr. Anti-Integration Joe. Mr. Integrating into a jungle Joe. Mr. These niggas is roaches Joe. Not just any white man. Jim Crow Joe. So as you can see, they were upset about it. But there's something else about this that I was upset about. You guys know what I was upset about? Did you hear the examples that they gave that could replace Joe. Did you hear what they said? I heard Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Beyonce. This is who comes to mind to speak at a graduation for our black youth graduating from college. This is a point I've said in the past. Where are the black intellectuals? Who is and I hate to use this example, but actually then let me not use that example. Who is going to be, let's use this one. This is much better. Who is going to be the Scott Adams of black people?
Hotep Jesus? I love that guy. He's terrific.
Who? Where is the black intellectual? You know who people always run to? They say, oh, what about Neil deGrasse Tyson? Really? It's the best we could do, yo. And I don't have no problem with the guy, you know. I have no problems with Neil deGrasse Tyson, but Cornel West comes to mind. Even if he's a leftist, I still think he's one of the most brilliant minds on the planet. Somebody I would love to debate. I've been studying for the past 10 years to debate him. Still not ready yet, though. Still not ready yet to debate Cornel West. That's how much of a beast he was. Somebody mentioned Thomas Sowell. I don't even want to go there. I don't even want to go there. It's probably too deep for them. I don't want to go Clarence Thomas. Somebody said Sonny Johnson. I would love to have Sonny Johnson speak at a graduation. But the fact that they went directly to sports and entertainment tells us everything about the intellectual brain of the black community. The things that we covet. Now, a lot of the blame does fall on our shoulders. I'll be honest with you. A lot of it does. But some of it falls on the left. The left. You know why? Because to be truly intellectual, you have to be a critical thinker. And every black critical thinker is scrutinized by mainstream leftist media, by fake stream media. Because you guys mentioned a bunch of them. Ben Carson. Ben Carson's a good one. But anytime you're a critical thinker, that means you're not going to align with the left. You're not. Because you're thinking critically. I can't think of a single mind outside of Cornel West that is popular. You know, somebody who gets TV time, that is a great intellectual on the left. They're all shills. They're all shills of propaganda. You know, one of my favorite black conservatives ever is Janice Rogers Brown. I will never forget that name. Janice Rogers Brown. I'll never forget the Clintons and the Bidens voted against appointing her. I believe it was to one of the circuit judges in D.C. She was a little too conservative. Yeah, you know, how conservative, you know, you're so conservative, not even Biden. Somebody said Al Sharpton. That's the best we got, right? Al Sharpton is our go-to intellectual, our guy who's going to speak up for us. Somebody said Mark Lamont Hill. But Mark Lamont Hill is going to sit up here and tell you that women can have penises. So we can't throw him in the bag because all these people are beholden to the agenda. Beholden to the agenda. So that's the thing that about this. It was like I was proud that they were not happy with having Joe Biden. But the fact that they said LeBron James and Steph Curry, it has nothing to do with these individuals. It has everything to do with the genre they come from. Like, this is a college graduation. Why are we mentioning entertainers and athletes. It's just it's very frustrating for me sometimes. Very, very frustrating. Anyway, let's go back in the grift bag before I lose my cool. It's a lot of race grifting going on. A whole lot of race grifting going on. Damn, like look how much I got a lot of race grifting stuff going on in here. All right, let's lighten the mood up. Let's go here. Let's lighten the mood up a little bit. Let's play this.
We had a phenomenal day today. Nigger League Museum and Arthur Bryant's Barbecue. We had a phenomenal day today. Nigger League Museum and Arthur Bryant's Barbecue.
Chat, what's going on? Chat, what's going on? Did he mean to say that? Was that an accident? Did he misspeak? Did I hear him incorrectly? It sounded like he said nigger museum.
We had a phenomenal day today. Nigger League Museum.
Everybody in the comments said the dude on the left didn't even flinch. Let's look again. Does he flinch? Does the dude on the left flinch? Let's take a look.
We had a phenomenal day today. Nigger League Museum and Arthur Bryant's Barbecue. We had a
not a flinch. Held his eyes open a little bit longer. Maybe that's just because he's a professional and he knows how to just ride with the punches. I think they said this dude got fired. This video's a month old. I believe it. I believe it. That's absolutely hilarious, though. I'm trying to make sense as to why he would say nigger league. And the only thing I can think of is because he just uses that word liberally behind the scenes or in front of the scenes. And it's just a normal part of his life. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Let's go back in the grift bag. I got more race stuff. Today's a very racially grifty day. We even got some black on black violence in here. Let's go to some black on black violence. We covered this last night with Uncle Hotep, had some commentary, but I need my good folks at the Grift Report to see this. Cause I'm an island boy. I'm an island boy. Watch this.
African people stay here, I have Jamaican people stay here, I have white people stay here, I have Spanish people stay here, and I have black Americans stay here. I'm not saying not all black Americans are bad, but the ones that came to my place have been nothing but problem. Only 2 good ones came here, to all of them. Fight late at night, not with me, with each other. They're disrespectful, they're entitled, they're unappreciative. And it is that way because America has spoiled them and give them so much free shit. But they think they could come to Jamaica and get the same free shit out here and be nasty about it.
She said because America gives them so much free shit.
Not saying all of you are like that, but because of that, I'm not risking my health and my happiness for people. No short-term stay. No short-term stay. It's not going to happen here. I'd rather eat salt and banana and let goats and cows live into my houses.
I'd rather eat salt and banana.
Then I have people come here and stress me. I will not hate my business because of customers. A lot of business people are miserable because of some kind of customer. Not this place. I don't want my place is drama free.
So the internet canceled her for that. And you know what she did? She doubled down. She doubled down. Let's go to the tape.
Post a video today. And I'm getting so much bad comments about this video. Also, you guys wanna attack me. I get it. Some people message me, I need to apologize. I get it. So here I am. I'm not sorry. Not sorry. I could post that video 100 times. I will post it. You can't bully somebody into what you want them to say. You can't bully somebody It's freedom of speech. I could say how I feel. I'm entitled to my free speech. There's so much people right now can't speak how they feel because people bully them, so people shut them up and don't say nothing. Not this girl. You wanna unfollow me, block me? Go ahead. I don't care. That's the main reason I post that video. I post that video because the ones that are lashing out at my video, you're the one I don't want here. I post that video to weed out the bad seeds. So you watch that video, and when you comment down, you're not coming here. Thank you. I don't want you here. The people that are offended by my video, thank you for don't want to come here. My peace is more important than your freaking opinion, okay? Have peace. Peace and quiet. I don't need your money that much that I need to stress myself on, okay? This is not about drama. This is my business, my peace of mind, and I'm expressing what I don't want here. And I tell you what tip, let me tell you exactly what tip the pop today. There's a lady stay here 4 months ago. Yes, a black American girl here 4 months ago.
She calling them out.
She eat my food for a week. I take care of her, take her to Dunsborough Fall, treat her really good. After 4 months ago, she requests to get a refund back, a fully refund. This girl tried to jump out of a moving car to kill herself. The driver have to like hold her back. She stopped beating herself and they're like, stop, I'm ugly, I'm fat, I hate myself. This is what I put up with here. Yes, nobody else have driven me this crazy than the black Americans that come to me. Not all of them. My best friend actually is black American, my best friend. But the black Americans that choose to book a ticket and come here to Jamaica to my place have driven me crazy. I'm not gonna say random people, because not random people. This is something that's cultural that need to fix. And every time somebody says something about you all, you wanna get up and like attack them instead of sitting there like, you know what? She probably have a point. She probably have a point. No, just attack me. Don't regret it. No apologies coming from over here.
Now, before I comment on it, this is a setup for Ann Coulter's tweet. Let's pull Ann Coulter's tweet up. Now, Ann Coulter says, NAACP issues warning to African Americans to avoid visiting Florida. Employees in restaurant and tourism industry brace for 0% drop in tips. Oh man. All right, let's oh my God. All right, let's just be honest. It's two different types of black folks in America. And Chris Rock has a bit about this. You know, you got black people and you got niggas, okay? And yeah, sometimes those two could be the same thing. You ever seen a group of bougie niggas? Like niggas with money? Sometimes niggas with money is no good either because they don't have the etiquette and the culture. You know, they probably went to college, it was affordable, or they took out loans, they got a good job, but they never really learned the ways of refined society, or they pretend to know it and become very brash and entitled. With that being said, you know, once upon a time, I worked in the restaurant industry. I worked at a bunch of restaurants. I served tables. And I remember this one group of ladies. I got a couple of stories I'm going to tell you about being a black server serving black people. This one group of ladies used to come in every Sunday. And I hated working Sundays because you get all the church people. And let me tell you something. Church people tip the worst. White, black, it don't matter. If you work in the service industry at the restaurant, tell your boss you go to church on Sundays and can't work on Sundays, because Sundays are the worst tippers. Church people. All right, we're going to talk about black people, but church tippers are the worst tippers. And you would think These motherfuckers just went and praised God. And somebody broke it down to me. They said, well, they didn't gave the church all their money, so by the time they got here, they didn't have much left. And I'm like, yo, that probably makes sense too. But church people are the worst tippers, okay? Now, I used to have these ladies that used to come in. They was probably like, I don't know, 70 years old, heavy set. And they used to say, I love Brian. In case you don't know, my name's Brian. I love Brian. So they used to always ask for me. And they would sit in my section, and I take real good care of them. And I take that shitty ass tip every single time and give them excellent service every single time. And they loved me. I loved them. And it's just something I understood about black people is some of them don't know no better. They don't see. There's a difference between customs, right? So, for example, I'll give you another example of not understanding customs. I also served tables in New York City during the day. And the last thing you want is a bunch of Europeans coming to sit at your table because them motherfuckers can't tip either. You thought black people can't tip? Get you a table of people from France or England or some shit like that. They come here and it is like you got a table of black people. So it's church people, Europeans, and niggas or NASAs, and these people just don't understand the custom. And then when you explain them the custom, they said, well, you know, I should be able to tip whatever I want. It's my money. And it's like, I get that, but that's not how we do things here in Rome. When in Rome, you do as Romans. Damn it. So it's church people, Europeans, and NASAs, okay? Now, like I said, worked in New York City, and I had a table like that. What was the code word we had for when somebody, in the restaurant industry, we had code words for when black people sat in your section, whether you're black, white, Spanish, we were all in this together, okay? You know, somebody would say, you know, the waitress, I'm sorry, the hostess would sit the people at the table, and she'd come up to you, and she'd look at you, and she'd go, I'm sorry. And you just knew that you had a table of black people. Now, again, there's a difference between black people and NASAs, okay? Now, I got this radar because I'm black, which I can tell the difference between. So people used to come to me and say, Brian, can you tell me which one, because the lobby would be full of people waiting to get sat, et cetera, et cetera. And they say, would you tell me which sets of these black people are going to tip and which ones are not going to tip? And I'd say, you see them black folks over there? Yeah, them some good black folks. They know how to tip. You see them black folks over there? Yeah, they are not going to tip very well, right? So they would sit these people at different tables and try to spread them out so you didn't get, you know, 3 tables in a row of bad tipper NASAs, okay? And I remember I came up to the desk one day and there was some black folks in the lobby, and I looked at them. I said, you can give me them black folks right there. Sat them at my table and they tipped 18 to 20%. 18 to 20%. Happens every single time, okay? Now, you're going to get some tables full of NASAs. And you can tell, if you've been around NASAs, you know the difference between NASAs and some good black folk. Now, here's the problem I have. I look like a NASA, but I come from good black folk stock. So I don't always get the best service when I go out because they think I'm one of them. And I always tip 20 to 22%. Now, if I sit at the table and you give me NASA service, you treat me like I'm a NASA, I might tip you 15% just to show you I know how to tip. I might tip you 18% just to show you I know how to tip, and you should have given me better service. But I've tipped exactly, like I've calculated out exactly what 15% was, and just to show, yo, you could have got a nice tip if you would have treated me like a human being. And one thing about me was, no matter what type of person you are, when you sat in my section, whether NASA or black folk, I gave you Waldorf Astoria customer service because I believe in doing my best job every single time out. That's how I live my life. And if I saw you before and you sat, like I said, those old ladies that sat in my section a bunch of times, I gave them the same premier service every single time. No one's going to get a bad tip. Knowing they were going to ask for me and I'm going to have to bear that bad tip. I used to feel bad for some of the people at my job. I'd be like, yo, give me the NASAs. Just put them in my section. I don't want nobody to take them because they're going to give them bad service. Put those NASAs in my section. I'll give them good service. I'll take the bad tip because I don't want y'all giving my people bad service because they tip bad. It's just two wrongs don't make a right. You get what I'm saying? And I've had instances where I had NASAs over tip because they was like, yo, your service was on point. They overtipped. Now, did they overtip because they knew the customs? No, they overtipped because they really liked me because I kicked it with them. We talked. I made sure they got what they wanted. I knew you wanted your steak well done. And they tipped me well. Okay? But the truth of the matter is, black people don't tip because they don't know that they're supposed to tip. They don't know 18, 20%. They don't know these things, 15%. Now, there's another group of people in here that tip poorly. I'm going to show you right here. B pointed this out. And she says, I want y'all to know black people tip more than white business professionals. And that's true. So you have Europeans, church folk, black folk, and business professionals. Business professionals are they're the cheapest tippers. That's what I'll say. They're the cheapest tippers. Those motherfuckers, you can give the best service. They're going to give you attitude the entire time and then tip you like 15%, like on the dollar, like on the penny, every single time. Hated it. I hated working lunches. I hated business professionals. They act like their shit don't stink. But here's the sad part about waiting on black people. You're going to work hard. Some black folk, you're going to work hard. You better think for them. You gotta think ahead, right? If they getting, a certain type of pasta, they asking for extra sauce. Don't even wait. Just bring out the extra sauce. You better be on top of them refills because they're going to run you for them refills. If I hand them a Coke, I know I got to bring one in 2 minutes. Waiting on black folks is one of the hardest jobs ever. I'm going to tell you. And I know it because my family like this. I went out with Shorty once and I was like, yo, I would hate to serve you. I'm sitting right across from my Shorty and I'm like, I would hate to serve you. She like, why? I'm like, yo, you got our server running. Like every time the server come back, she got something new she want. And I'm just like, yo, just figure out what you want. Ask one time and then that just be that. You know what I'm saying? But my other, my other aunties and shit, just, what it is women, black women. They are some entitled folk. I got to be honest with you. Black women are entitled. They want the best service. And I'm not saying they shouldn't get it, but it's sort of like inconsiderate because like, okay, you go out to eat, right? And you want to have a good time and you want good service. I get that. But the person serving you is a person too. They're a person too. And they deserve respect and they deserve consideration. So sometimes it's like you walk into a restaurant and you'll wonder like, why is my server taking so long with this? Why are they taking so long with that? And it's like, unless you were a server, you wouldn't understand it. But I can sit back and I'll look and I'll be like, I'll watch my server and I'll say, dun, dun, dun. Oh, you got 6 tables. Damn. Okay, they're understaffed. Then they come over to you, they're sweating, they wiping their brow, they like looking around while they taking your order, trying to make sure. It's a very hard job. So that's the other thing. You got to, when y'all go out, be considerate of your servers. Don't make them run around like crazy, because it's just a really, really hard job. They're on their feet all day. And if you're a server, give A+ service, every single time out. Don't skimp. Now I'm gonna give you one last tip before we go back into the grift bag. If you ever want really good service at a restaurant, tell them you used to serve tables. Even if you didn't, just say, yeah, I used to serve tables at, Olive Garden or Outback or something like that. Just say a restaurant that that they'll know. Say, hey, look, I used to serve tables, and so I know what you're going through. And so then now what they do is they're in their head, they're like, okay, this person knows the expectations of the job, so they have to step up. And they also know that as a fellow server, you know how to tip. So this is what I do as a black man. Whenever I get a server and the server I can kind of look at them and tell, like, they're like, oh God, is this guy a NASA? So if they feel like I'm a NASA, I'll make them feel easy and say, I used to serve. And then you can just see the tension just release and they go, oh, okay, I'm going to get a good tip. And the thing is, this is not white folks. This is not white folks. I went out to dinner the other day and had a black server. She did not look happy to see me. She said, look at this NASA and all his kids. She was like, look at him here with his baby mama and his kids. And I understand why she would feel that way, because internally I felt that way as well. So that's a real quick tip, let you know, yes, black people hate waiting on black people too. It's not just white people, okay? And it's really hard to deal with sometimes. And what Aunt Coulter said, maybe you can call it tasteless or unprofessional or some other word that you want to come up with. But truth of the matter is, she's not lying. It's definitely wicked. It's definitely savage of her to tweet. Somebody's going to call it racist. And maybe it is racist. I don't know. Everything's fucking racist today. But when I saw this, all I can think about was my days as a server. And I'm like, yeah, we need to talk about this. We really need to dive into this Ann Coulter topic about black folks. And, I think we need to teach people. I got another story for you. I remember one time we went out to eat. This was a while ago. We was kids, man. We was like 20 something. And it was like maybe 5 of us. And we went to some restaurant, and it was time to pay the bill. We didn't split the check. We just pulled out cash. And that's another thing. I hate when motherfuckers be splitting the bill. But anyway, never be a party that splits the bill. That's just tacky. So put down the cash, and then now it's like, time to tip. So we go around and make sure everybody, we get up to 20% because we got to take care of our server. We know how to tip. And then somebody we were with was like, I think they throw in like $2 or something like that on the tip. And now you got to remember, it's 5 of us. That bill was probably like $200. On $200, you're tipping at least $40, right? So he threw in like $2, and he had a good sized meal and some drinks. So we were like, yo, you got to tip more than that. He like, no, I don't. Like, yeah, you do. You got to tip 20%. Who said you got to tip 20%? I'm like, bro, you got to tip 20%. Show me where it says that. I'm like, it's an unwritten rule, bro. It's the customs. It's how we do things. Nah, I don't got to do that. I don't got to do that. I'm struggling right now. I ain't got it. I'm like, well, you shouldn't have came out to eat. You should have got to go. Motherfucker got mad, through the table. And we were like, oh, shit. Time to go. Check, please. Motherfuckers flipped the table in the restaurant. He was upset because we were, my response, he was mad at me, really, because my response was like, yeah, I got bills too. Like, we all struggling out here. Like, you're not the only one, bruh. And he got upset at that and tossed and flipped the table. And, yeah, that was not a good look. So, yeah, some people are going to resist, but for the most part, the truth of the matter is either they don't think they should tip, but most of the time they don't know any better, and it needs to be taught. We need classes on this stuff. Black people, when you go out, if you have a server that treats you like a NASA, tip them 15% to let them know I know how to tip, and right to the penny. If you get good service, tip 18. If you get great service, tip 20 to 22. I personally, customarily, tip 20 to 22% every single time, right? If your bill is $50, that's 10. If your bill is $100, that's 20. Just is what it is. And drinks are included in that because they're going to have to tip out the bar. They got to tip out the bus boy, the hostess, and whoever else they got to share tips with. So, you know, the drinks are included in that. Now, some people will some people will tip on the food. I know some people that are Scrooges that'll tip 20% on the food bill and not include the drink bill. I don't go that far. That's those business professionals. So just to recap, worst tippers, NASA's, business professionals, church people, and Europeans. Oh man, those Europeans. And the Europeans got attitude too, man. You feel like you a slave for real. They you know, they'll toss the napkin at you and yeah, you can take this away. And they do a hands movement and come here and you just like, motherfucker, you talk, I'll kick your teeth out. I don't condone violence, YouTube. It's just comedy. But yeah, the Europeans really, give me a table of NASA's. Give me a table of hungry NASA's before you give me a European or business people. At least with the NASA's, we could joke and have some fun. You know, you can't even joke and have fun with the Europeans and the business people. Anyway, let's go back in the grift bag. So yeah, that black lady down in Jamaica, she had it with the NASA's, and I don't really blame her. I got to be honest with you. Now, let's just go here. Let's just get this over. I don't even want to spend much time on this fake news right here. Somebody with a U-Haul, you know, had tried to, I don't know, breach the Capitol or some shit like that. Is that what we're supposed to believe today? Let's go to Fox News and see what they're saying. I can't with this. This is what we're supposed to be, you know, distracted by today, I guess. Hold on. All right, let's see what they're talking about here. All right, so U.S. Park Police say Osama bin Laden, I mean, I'm just joking. Sai Varsith Kandula was taken into custody at the scene. Kandula faces multiple charges, including assault with a dangerous weapon, reckless operation of a motor vehicle, the threat to kill, kidnap, or inflict bodily harm on a president, vice president, or family, destruction of federal property, and trespassing. Officials released his name Tuesday. Fox 5's Stephanie Ramirez confirmed that Kandula graduated early from Marquette High School in Chesterfield, January 2022. They released a yearbook picture. Here he is. Motherfucker look like the Indian Andrew Tate. They said cell phone video shot at the scene showed the truck crashing into the barriers. Law enforcement recovered a red, white, and black Nazi flag from the vehicle. Said there's a backpack, duct tape, and a notebook with pages full of writing was also retrieved from the book. So now we're waiting for some manifesto to be written by ChatGPT or something like that. I don't know what's going on with that. But we got Indian Nazis now. Did anybody see them like pull the flag out of this truck? Has anybody seen that? Or is this just, you know, was that planted evidence? I'm just asking. I'm not saying, you know, this is a false flag. I'm not saying that. I didn't say that. Sure smells like one. Right now, Secret Service is using a robot to search the U-Haul that collided. So I guess apparently there was supposed to be a bomb or something like that, or I don't know, some sort of explosives was on it, and you know they pulled out a Nazi flag. So yeah, Treadstone is At it again. Treadstone is grifting season, and Treadstone is working full time with the Pakistani Andrew Tate. Let's go back in the grift bag. I'm not spending a whole lot of time on that bullshit. Because it's just there's nothing to talk about. You know, what are we gonna do? You know, dive into the life of this Osama bin Laden character? Is that what we're about to do? We're gonna go back to the racial grift. We got some racial grifts. I was disappointed in a couple of people today. We're gonna go back to the racial grift in just a second, but let's pull this up. And this is related to our stream yesterday. Welcome to the Grift Report. We're here live every day at 2 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. And yesterday we talked about a similar story. Chat, I want you to tell me if you remember what this reminds you of from yesterday. Let's hit play.
Are you prepared? The internet is going down later this week. It's going to be crazy. Find out more below.
The internet is going down later this week.
The internet is going down. The real truth the government refuses to tell you. Previous account banned for sharing the truth. Wait a minute, this is misinformation. You may be spreading misinformation unintentionally. Confirm the credibility of a source before contributing to the conversation. To see how FDA is addressing misinformation, check out our Rumor Control webpage.
Anybody remember what that reminds you of? Do you remember what we talked about yesterday on this show? Remember BBC Verify? Yesterday, or we talked about it yesterday, but BBC Verify, as you see here, had their technology roll out where they're talking about combating misinformation, fake news, etc., etc. And then today, the FDA rolls out their webpage to combat misinformation. And, you know, I just can't help but notice that this feels a lot like, let's put this on your screen here. Let's see, anybody has read the book. And do me a favor. Do not mention Orwell or 1984 if you haven't read the book 1984. If you haven't read the book, just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. You're a LARPer. You're a LARPer. You're a LARPer. Go read the book. It doesn't take long. You can finish it in a week or less if you know how to read. But one of the ministries in this book was the Ministry of Truth. And this is the, well, right here it says here, the Ministry of Truth handled Newspeak as a ministry of propaganda. As with other ministries in a novel, the name Ministry of Truth is a misnomer because in reality it serves the opposite. It is responsible for any necessary falsifications of historical events. However, like other ministries, the name is also apt because it decides what truth is in Oceania. So that's what we're dealing with now, is these ministry of truths or ministries of truth are going to decide what's real and what's fake, because people are just doing too much thinking. We saw during the pandemic, many people were questioning things. Many people were banned for questioning things. People were lost their YouTube channels, Twitter accounts, Facebook accounts, Instagram accounts, etc., or highly limited in the algorithm. And that's basically, the Ministry of Truth. So now they're like, well, let's get ahead of it next time, and we're going to have these apps that are going to start to control thought, control information, and decide, what is truth. And, truth is actually has a date. The truth has an expiration date. I'm going to say that one more time for the people in the back. The truth has an expiration date. For example, what they told us about those inoculations was once truth, but that truth has expired. What they told us about the coronavirus, that truth had an expiration date. They told us about the lab in China. gain of function research, Fauci, Bill Gates, all those truths that they created have now expired, and they're admitting that they were wrong. New study just came out of Israel talking about, actually, let me find that. I'll show you. Hold on, let me bring this up on the screen. I just got this information this morning. Shout out to Jabari and Jason for keeping us informed. Was it this one? Yeah, here it is. Found it. Hold on. Let's put this up on the screen. Says here, Dr. Eli David, following court order today, Israel Ministry of Health released data regarding COVID mortalities. Total COVID deaths in the age group under 50 with no comorbidities, 0. 0 healthy people under 50 died of COVID. There was no once-in-a-century pandemic, according to Dr. Eli David and this report here, which is written in Hebrew, and unfortunately I don't read much of that language. Very, 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 very little of it. Barely know the alphabet. But if you know that, you can go read this document. But again, at one point, that was a truth. But like I said, the truth has an expiration date. Jabari in the chat. What up, Jabari? Remember that. I want you guys to spread that far and wide and quote me. The truth has an expiration date.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Their truth at the very least. All right, let's get back into the race grift. We got I'm really disappointed, at some people because well, let's start here. We have this tweet here from Shermichael, and he says, the same people who say they're tired of talking about race are the same people who are also constantly talking about race. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Next tweet. Let's pull all this up. So I remember at one point people told me, Hotep Jesus, you have to interview James Woods. James Woods, he's brilliant. He's a great mind. He's a great mind. And, well, fact check false. Wait, where'd those tweets go? Did he? Hold on a second. I just had them here. I just had them and they disappeared from my bookmarks. Maybe he deleted them. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, wow, he deleted them. Wow, interesante. Interesante. Because they were in my bookmarks this morning. They were definitely there. And they were there before I went live. But this guy, James Woods, was spreading these videos of black on white violence. Chat, I ask you, is this James Woods guy official? James Woods, is he official? Please tell me. Because this morning, like I said, I bookmarked these tweets, and he was in the rage business, very much in the rage business. Let's see here. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna pull up my tweet, and then we can look at it. Hold on. Now, I'll show you what James Woods I'm talking about. Hold on, let me show you what James Woods I'm talking about. This guy right here. This guy right here. Is he official? Tell me, is he official, y'all? Please tell me. I guess he's a libertarian. Tell me, Josh, is this guy official? Now, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm just, delusional and, my brain doesn't work the same, although I'm on master focus. So my brain should be at its greatest. Official, like, is he up there with Scott? Is he somebody we can trust? Is he, or is he just another grifter? He's just another Hollywood guy. Adeptus says he's just another Hollywood guy. Some people in the chat are saying he's official. I don't know. After what I saw this morning, him posting videos of, the black on white violence. And I'm going to bring up my tweet from this morning because he's the main culprit I saw today that inspired my tweet. But trying to see maybe if he's got some older ones here. And I really don't want to have to start taking screenshots of shit. I really don't. I really hate doing that. I really hate taking screenshots of stuff. Anyway, let's go to my tweets. So, right. All right, let's just go to this. I can get there from here. I said right here, videos of black violence against whites is currency on the right, like white violence against blacks on the left. Old playbook, new demographic, same emotions. And I feel like we talk about this every single day. But it's a very old playbook. In fact, this is the playbook, I want to say, following Reconstruction in America. I want to say. Let's Google it. Let's do some big brain shit and Google it. We can do it right here on Wiki. I'm sure Wiki will provide me with the absolute 100% truth, won't it? Here we go. Reconstruction era. Yeah, this is following the Civil War, right? Slavery is abolished. Okay, so right here we have, during this era, ended the remnants of Confederate secession in the South and passed the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to the Constitution, the Reconstruction Amendments, ostensibly guaranteeing the newly freed freedmen, the same civil rights of those whites. Following year of violent attack against blacks in the South, 1866, Congress federalized the protection of civil rights. So as you can see here, what we have is Reconstruction. The Reconstruction Amendments occur, right? Concessions are given to newly freed slaves, right? Many of them black, majority of them black, I would say. And then you get the violent attacks against the blacks in the South. All right. I'm trying to see what concessions. I know there were various concessions granted to some free slaves. Also, many of the slave owners lost out. Anyway, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I want to just really make my point. But my point is that this playbook is not new. And basically what happens is, the United States government will placate to one group over another, knowing that it'll create animosity to the other group. So this is a very old playbook. So on one side of things, what happens is they'll play a bunch of videos to blacks and say, look at how dangerous these police are in your neighborhood, etc., etc. Look at how dangerous white men are. And then, once that program has set in, Now you do the same program to the whites and go, oh, look at these blacks. They're attacking you, and you're a victim, and da 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 da. So it's an old playbook. It's a new demographic though, because we're just in new times. The conservatives of today certainly aren't conservatives of the yesteryear. In fact, they're not even the liberals of yesteryear. Old liberal is way more conservative than a modern day conservative. An old liberal would not be, allowing some of this tea stuff into their circumference. And it's kind of wild what I see in some of these events. But anyway, it's the same emotions. These same emotions. And, I like to talk about this because I just want people who watch my show to, not deal in this, spread of videos, et cetera, like the one that James posted earlier, was a 2016 video. And it even said it in the top corner. It was like some black dude came into an establishment, maybe it was a jewelry store, and he got shot. But in the top left-hand corner, you saw it said 2016. It said 2016. It said 2016. So we're talking about 7 years ago. A 7-year-old video. This is what we're pulling up out of here. Really ugly, really ugly. So, like I said, it's currency, though. Currency being something like money, something you can exchange. So the rage turns into clicks, engagement, views, to which you can then sell to your sponsor. And that's how, many of us get paid. We have sponsors, right? Sponsors pay to have eyes so they can get your eyes. I just don't want my sponsors to be paying for eyes that are going to create hate and division in the world. I want my sponsors to pay for a space where, there's going to be some balanced takes on life. So my grift is a little bit different from the rest of these people's grift, where, they want to spread hate. And I really wish James didn't delete those tweets. Trish said a lot of old videos resurfaced too. Yeah, they're all old. They're all so old. Like the one I played yesterday, complaining about the white boy having dreadlocks. I'm like, I remember that video. That was the Black Lives Matter era. I remember that clear as day. Hold on a second. Trying to think if there's a way. Yeah, no, that was yesterday. Yesterday was the white girl complaining about, she said, white people are at the bottom of the caste system. And I was just like, that's a hell of a leap. That's one hell of a leap. Let me see. I'm going to just do one last search here, and then I'm going to open up phone lines. Hold on. So the phone line is 202-596-5631, 202-596-5631. We're going to open up phone lines right now without further ado. Okay, cool. Phone lines are open, 202-596-5631. I'm going to throw that in the chat. Give me a second here. Damn, he dead ass deleted those. Did he? I want to give him credit. I want to say that's good. That's good because he understood what he was doing was wrong. And he tried to correct that wrong by deleting his tweets. So I'm happy he deleted his tweets. I was going to say it's scummy, but it's not.
Call from
Rudy the Vet.
Rudy the Vet. Russo on the line. Rudy, what's up?
Hotep Jesus, what's up, my brother?
What's up, bro? How you, man?
First, man, the strong dad protocol, man. I ain't no false valor, dude. Rudy the vet. I'm not a veteran of the U.S. military, man. I'm a veteran of the United States Drug Board, man. I'm a veteran of the United States Drug Board. That nickname was laid on me by some friends. So I come from a military family. A lot of my uncles and my brothers served, but I didn't make it, man. So that's where the vet comes from. So I don't want to be out here with misleading people, man. I'm not a military vet, man.
Dope.
Second of all, brother, remember in the early 2000s, man, a show called The Chappelle Show, when all the racial stereotypes and tropes was the #1 show in America?
Yeah.
And everybody loved it, man.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that, man? Why can't we have a little fun with it? Like, you know, if anybody besides Ann Coulter put that tweet out, man, that people would be laughing their ass off, man. And people would be laughing their ass off. It's just that Ann has that stigma around her that she's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
That's all it is. But the stigma that comes with Ann Coulter.
But do you think that
Bro,
she
if Ralphie
shouldn't?
May,
Do you think she shouldn't have said it? Or
because why should people self-censor, man? I mean, if you don't like Ann Coulter, you ain't got to listen to what the fuck she's got to say, dude. Why she's because you remember Ralphie May? You remember that fat comedian Ralphie May?
Nah.
You remember him? He used to go. The big fat white boy that used to go to the Apollo.
Yeah.
He come out of Arkansas. Oh, dude, he had the Apollo rocking, man. He was joking. I mean, he would joke. He'd bang on everybody, man. He'd bang on every race. Ralphie May, man. If you look at some of his videos, dude, I swear to God, you'll cry when dude was in the Apollo, man.
Okay.
He was in the Apollo in Harlem, dude. Ralphie May, man. Check it out, dude. And black folks loved him. Now, if he put that tweet out, people be laughing. It's just the stigma that comes with Ann Coulter. But just like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes it's who says it.
It's who says it, man. But that's a funny tweet, man. You just got to let shit roll off your back, man. People take themselves too seriously, man.
Oh,
James
Ralphie
Wood.
May. Yeah, I remember him.
Remember him? Yeah, man. That's
Yeah.
a funny dude, man. And black folks love that dude, man. He go anywhere. I seen him live at the Funny Bone in Virginia Beach, Virginia, man. He's a funny motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
And that crowd was a multicultural crowd, and everybody loved that dude, man. And he banged on whites, he banged on blacks. He didn't give a fuck. He never self-censored, man.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to. What is Ann supposed to self-censor?
Yeah.
You know, it's Ann Coulter, man. Take it with a grain of salt, man. Don't sweat the small shit, man.
Is it racist?
Is it racist? It might be a little racist, but it's funny as hell. You know, when did you ever watch any of those old Don Rickles roast back in the day when he'd have Sammy Davis Jr. up there? But they were all laughing about it. How the fuck are they laughing about shit in the '60s about racial jokes? But here we are in 2023, and we can't laugh at a racial joke, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come
yeah.
on, man. We gotta
But
laugh
you
a
know,
little bit.
here's my issue.
Yeah.
You know, you can't. You know. Okay, so particularly amongst the red whites. Okay,
Right.
Ann Coulter, what she said is funny, right? Okay,
Right.
cool. But then they're up in a bunch because they say Karen is a racial slur.
Yeah, because that's what we talked about yesterday. Because the wrong red whites have the megaphone, dude. The wrong ones have the megaphone, man.
Yeah.
And like Sonny put out a tweet this morning about talking to your white conservatives and the pundits. I said because the wrong ones have the megaphone, dude.
Yeah.
The wrong one, the same. And this comes to the James Wood shit, right? The same red whites that'll tell you, oh, Hollywood's all full of cesspool. Hollywood, how can you listen to these people this leftist shit? Are the same ones who prop that guy up. And what has he done in this world? Oh, he's from Hollywood. So we're going to prop him up because that's our Hollywood guy. Come on. There's nothing special about it. He did some good movies. So fucking what, man? Who cares what he has to say, man?
Yeah.
He's still, it's still the hero worship that the red white pundits, the Matt Walsh's, Hollywood this and Hollywood that and Hollywood. And the same guys bitching and stomping their feet because Hollywood's all left wing are the same ones who be like, well, James Woods. Man, fuck that guy, man. He's an actor. He's a piece of shit.
Somebody in the chat is asking, what's a red white? Do you want to tell them what a red white is?
A red white is a conservative white American, man. It's
There
you
you
know,
go.
it's You know, but for real, the red whites got a lot of issues, man, because the wrong red whites have megaphones, man. The wrong red whites have megaphones, man, and that's the problem, man. The wrong ones have the megaphones, man. The Daily Wire equals cuckery equals the same victim mentality. We're a man. May I tell you, man? If I ever see, I put out a tweet today, man. You can't listen to Michael Knowles, Ben Shapiro, or Matt Walsh because none of them ever been in a street fight. You can't take anybody in this world seriously who hasn't been in a street fight because they've never been punched in the face. So they'll sit there talking about, well, can I use the N-word? Let me tell you something, Matt Walsh. When I was in prison, and I could walk around and sing a Capone and Noriega track with my headphones on, and I could say the word because every black dude in that place had respect for me because they knew I wasn't a racist piece of shit. But you sit there on your little high horse, throwing your little right-wing digs, and you make it like you're a racist, but you want to use the N-word. There's a big fucking difference, jackass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, he's just a jackass, dude. When people listen to these people, man.
I like Matt Walsh, man.
Man, listen, man.
He's a premium
you, man,
grifter, though. He's a premium grifter.
I mean, listen, I can't knock the game. They're all making way more money than me, but they ain't nothing but divide. There's just the right side of divide and conquer, brother.
Yeah.
They're the right side of divide and conquer, man.
Yeah.
They're not bringing anybody together. They're brainwashing millions of people to try and think like them, man. They're not trying to open up people's minds.
Well, here's my thing, right? Because you mentioned Sonny Johnson, and Sonny Johnson was talking about, you know, the voices on the right. And I thought about that when she said it, and I said, you know, it's almost like the black community where, you know, you say, okay, who's our intellectuals? And they mention all these sports and entertainers. Then you do the same thing on the right, and the red whites, they're just going to mention media people. There's no, like, real, like, intellectuals. They're just going to mention media people.
Right.
So these people are media, and I think that the problem is some people are looking at media personalities as freedom fighters when really they're just click farms.
Dude, they're the worst, man. And the same people that put those right-wing voices, the intellectuals like Ben Shapiro, are the same ones who won't put an intellectual like you on the air, but they'll put LeBron James up there on the air, who walks around with the Malcolm X book talking about, I've read this book, man, it's a great book, but you can't even tell me the quote about the white liberals and what he says about them. The same people he's palling around with, same ones he's standing on stage in 2016 trying to get elected the president, and you're reading Malcolm's book. Malcolm told you about them fucking people, man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So why don't they put, listen, put Sonny on. How many of those white conservative pundits have Sonny Johnson in their thread?
I know Vivek Ramaswamy running from it now.
You know why they don't want her in their thread? Because she knows more about the Constitution than all of them, dude. You know what I'm saying? She knows more about. You've got to bring people like that in. And yeah, Sonny, my brother one day, I was like, dog, you following Sonny? He's like, I don't know, sometimes he's a little too pro-black for me, dude. I'm like, bro, he's an honest dude. He's like, oh, man, my brother's down to earth, man. He's like, he's a little too pro-black for me. I'm like, bro, I was like, you care about what goes on in your neighborhood. She just cares on what goes on hers, man.
Yeah.
And then, I opened his eyes to that, and then he started following her. Because, dude, you got to follow. If we want to unite, we got to come together, man.
Yeah.
And you got to roll off shit like that. Get all up in arms behind Ann Coulter.
Yeah.
That Twitter was a tool designed by DARPA to bring outrage. It's fear porn on steroids, man. And if you let go your life, use it with caution. Use it with caution.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all I can say. Use it with caution because it's just fear porn on steroids, man.
Mm-hmm.
Divisiveness, divide and conquer on steroids, man.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Did you see that? Yeah, fucking people, man. I don't know, brother. Well, I'm sorry I was late to the grift, man. That's all I got to say, man. I told Steph Colonel put it on pause, dog, because I'm coming in hot.
No doubt, man. It's good to have you here as always, man.
Hey, man. Every day, brother. I'm a loyalist, man. I'm a Hotep loyalist, man, because this is about unity, man. Hotep means unity. Hotep and Bill, brother.
Absolutely, man. Hotep and Bill, bro.
about.
I love that guy, man.
Call from
K.
K on the line. What up, K?
What's up? How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you? Can you hear me? K, did we lose you? K?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there you are. I got you now.
Okay. First off, I gotta say, check the link in the description for a good percentage off of Master Focus. We need it now more than ever.
That's why I love K.
And the second question I have is, why are we listening to idiots?
Yeah, good point.
That's my question. You know, because it's like a lot of people do not know their background, do not know their history, do not know anything, but we're being told what to believe. Shout out to Shaka Amos, because I went through that 4-hour thing that you had with him, and I watched the whole full hours, and that was good.
On the Hebrews?
And it's like, yes. And what was it? The one for Egypt, too.
Okay.
We don't even know our backgrounds. But yet and still we have people telling us what to believe, how to believe it, and how to be offended by it.
Right.
And we're taking these people as the gospel truth, not doing any research on our own. So it's time for us to start standing up for each other and start standing up together, because that's all they want to do is divide and conquer. And they do a very great job with it, you know?
Yep.
Because that is their go-to every time. You know, when it came to what was going on with, as Cannon calls it, the Yamin, what did they do? They brought out the race grift.
Yeah, they did.
When it came to the things that are going on with the president's family, what did they do? They brought out the race grift again, because they know that will get people all the time. But if you do the research and look into it and take the time, a lot of the stuff that they've been telling us in the history books and a lot of the stuff that we're finding out now is not what they're telling us. And people, quit sending your DNA to testing facilities, because you know where it's going to.
It's a good point. That's a really good point. Do not. Well, I ain't gonna tell y'all what to do. I just know I ain't sending no 23andMe. My goddamn DNA.
Right. Please stop sending it to testing facilities.
I had a question for you. And then you changed subjects. Damn.
Was it about Shaka?
No. It was about the race grift.
Okay.
Damn. It'll come back to me.
Yep. If you stay on long enough, hey, I'll have time to call back.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No, I appreciate the call. It's always love. Always love.
Yes, thank you. Hotep and Build and everybody start coming together as one.
Yes, please do. Hotep and Build. That's K on the check-in. Make sure you get your discount for Master Focus in the box below, in the description box below, 30% off plus 20%. So that's like half off a subscription. This is mad super low prices. Let's get to the next caller.
Call from
Goldstein.
Hotep Goldstein on the line. What's up, bro?
What's cracking, man?
What's good?
Hey, them Nazis stay outsourcing their shit, don't they? Yeah. Outsource over there. Let's fuck with Mexico today. Let's fuck with India the next day. It's hell of American, though. I can say that. That's a hell of American approach.
That is very American. That is. So what we got? We got white supremacists. We got Hispanic white supremacists, and now we got Pakistani white supremacists.
Yeah, you know, you got to throw Kanye in there, I suppose.
Yeah. Now, oh yeah, he was the first black white supremacist.
Now we just waiting on the Asians to step it up. But look, we got this digital chitlin still going around as an issue, huh? With the Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
And now they want to lump on the color purple with this now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, when is the Robert Smalls movie finna drop?
Wait, who's Robert Smalls?
He's the slave. He jacked the Confederate battleship, gave that shit to the North.
Right.
And then they hooked him up. He ended up beating a white dude for office, public office, and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like this. Hotep Nation need to get into the movie production business, man.
You know
and
we
make
do.
That y'all first one.
You right. I like that idea.
Because I mean, if you stuck in that era for some goddamn reason, which is beyond me, but if you're going to be stuck in that era, you may as well highlight the best shit that happened in that era.
Right.
And quit highlighting all this slavery shit, man, because god damn, bro. That shit does a number on a person's psyche in real time. Not even like if you're saying, okay, here's your history. But I'm saying if you constantly highlighting the bullshit in somebody's everyday to that person, it's gonna break them down mentally. So what the fuck they think this shit is doing when it's on a multi-billion-dollar budget, cranked out maybe every 4 years, right in line with an election cycle, and it's been going on like that for over 100 goddamn years now.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think that's gonna do to a people?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think motherfuckers is steady knocking motherfuckers out on film and shit? They ain't right. They ain't right in the goddamn head. That's all psychological warfare, bro.
Psychological warfare. You nailed it. You nailed it. That's exactly what it is.
I don't know. Oprah Winfrey got her hand in this shit.
Yeah, she produced
Steven
it.
Spielberg, of course.
Yep, her and Steven Spielberg. Yep.
So it's just like, yo, I mean, damn, bro. Digital chitlins. That's all this shit is. High resolution digital chitlins. You gonna eat the leftover shit we give you. With no nutrition, no substance. Just shit that's gonna bust your heart.
Hotep Goldstein said they giving us digital chitlins. That's goddamn, that's a hell of a take.
Yeah, man, but yeah, get serious about that movie production shit, bro, and get off in there, man, because I know y'all got it like that. Y'all can do some things, even if it's low budget, small investors. Put that shit out as a documentary. I don't even give a damn, but his name needs to be starting to circulate out there, because Miss Feely ain't kicking in.
Hotep Studios coming soon.
That's what's up.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. All right, bro. I'm gonna let you get back to it.
All right, bro. Hotep and Bill.
Indeed.
Hotep Goldstein on the check-in. If y'all want to ever debate me or argue with me, the phone lines are always open too. Just don't have debate brain. Damn, he's 2 for 2. Yesterday he said it was the Rage Industrial Complex, and today he said it's digital chitlins is what they feeding us. God damn. That's a hell of a take right there. Oh, we got another caller coming in.
Call from
Jonah Ryan on the check-in.
What's good?
What up, Jonah? What's on your mind, bro?
Nada. The funny thing is that the Indians probably more than actual into that swastika, etc., where it all comes from, anyways. Now Jabari might be one of the few people in here that knows this. They got that swastika from Helena Blavatsky. Good old Helena Blavatsky, esoteric. And then it was the Vril and the Thule Society, and then you also had Alice Bailey, who started the Lucifer Trust, which is part of the UN, though, so it's all Luciferian shit.
Yeah.
But it all comes out of India. She literally got it from meditating with Helena Blavatsky, got the swastika from meditating in India with the Indian masters.
Yeah.
And then she brought back, and that's where the Germans picked it up from.
Yep. That's the truth. You'll see, I'll pull up on the screen here, you'll see the, even a swastika on the Buddha statue.
Yeah, you'll also see it all throughout the Indian cultures or First Nations cultures here too.
Yeah.
Because there's two different places where it comes from. It's the Black Sun, if you use the flat Earth model, where like you have the top and the inverse on the bottom. So if you do that, that's some Freemason shit. I can send you a video on that. But then it also represents the Big Dipper and the Four Seasons going around Polaris. So if you pull up like the Four Seasons, Big Dipper.
Yeah.
It's literally the swastika as it rotates around Polaris, which I mean, I'm not saying I'm for flat Earth, but how the fuck does the Polaris and the Southern Cross both stay stationary if we're moving at 66,600 miles per hour?
It's a good question, Jonah. It's a good question.
Anyway. Anyways, I'm trying to eat while I'm on my lunch, so I'll let you get to the other callers.
All right, man. Hotep and Bill. Jonah Ryan, our in-house conspiracy theorist, on the check-in. Let me get to the super chats. Jonah Ryan said, Hotep and Build is opposition to Democrat and destroy. Oh, man. Strong Dad Protocol, he said, my daughter will never, ever see one of these slave movies. Not in my house. Well, you know, I get you. My only rebuttal is I think the movie needs to be framed, right? So when we look at, for example, The Color Purple, I'm going to give a 20 to 30 minute lecture to the children and say, hey, take a look at how propaganda is created, and disseminated, and then watch the movie. So they know what to look for.
I'm trying genius.
Yo, what up? You want to lie with Hotep, man?
What's up, Hotep? Back at it again, man.
What's good?
Man, I seen you talking about that and Coulter tweet. We should not have white people out here calling us out, and we like, hey, she kind of right.
You said we can't have that?
We cannot have that, man. We need to change the culture, man. It's killing me at this point. We shouldn't have them looking at us like that.
You saying we got to do better?
We have to, and like we should have white people saying stuff about us, and we'd be like, why they lying?
What'd you say? They should be saying what?
I said we should have them saying stuff about us, and we should be smacking our teeth and saying, why they lying?
Instead of saying, damn, they right.
Right.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. Stereotypes are, they're very real. They're very real, and, they help us survive in many ways. But, to get your feelings hurt by them, it's very feminine. It's very bitch-assness. It's very estrogenic. And, I hate seeing it on both sides. You got to own your stereotypes. And that just be that, especially if they're, positive stereotypes or negative stereotypes, you got to own them. But you're right. I wish they were lying.
Right. It would be better if they were lying.
Yeah.
Than them telling the truth and everybody looking at them and then looking at us like that's all for real.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad look entirely. And with those stereotypes, like I always tell people that people want to harp on stereotypes, but that's just pattern recognition, man.
Yeah.
People wouldn't generate those ideas without seeing it somewhere.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. There's going to be some bit of truth in a stereotype. That's the funny thing about stereotypes. Mm-hmm. They contain a little bit of truth. Yeah.
Yeah, Hotep, man. I just wanted to check in with you, man. I love your show, man. Love what you're doing out there. Hotep and Bill, man.
I appreciate you for calling in, man. Hotep and Bill. I hope y'all coming to HotepCon. Tickets on sale right now. HotepNation.com/HotepCon. We got Project Rook. She coming out. Sonny Johnson. Tanai Ricks. We're going to be talking about science, politics, and health, like mental health. This year with Project Rook, I really want to talk about, and I guess it would be bridged with Tanai, but I really want to dive in on like people's dependency on pharmaceuticals is really what I want to dive in on with her this year.
Call from
Vader.
Vader, what up, man?
Man, what's up, HJ?
I'm good.
Yo, man, I gotta say, man, yo, Goldstein is on fire, man. We gotta have a serious discussion about that. Like, black portrayal in movie, man. Why do we need another Color Purple, bro? Like, that didn't do enough damage the first time. Like, we need to seriously talk. Like, if we wanted to have better portrayals of black people, we would just have them in normal situations doing normal shit. Like, why can't we just, like, have, you know?
Facts.
Because, like, I'm a writer myself, right? And so, obviously, like, I want to, like, I incorporate black people in the story. And in fact, like, they're often the main characters because I'm black. So I'm like, just makes sense. But I'm not like, all right, this is a story about a black person who is in a world that hates him. It's like, no, it's like, okay, he just happens to have superpowers. Like, he just happens to have he just happens to be black and have superpowers. It's not about him being black, fighting racism with the superpowers. It's like, you know, man, that's crazy, man. We really got to do something about that. We got to do something about that.
Yeah, you know, I think the reboot for Color Purple was about the gender divide and reinforcing that divide, because the original was about the gender divide. It was about making black men look bad.
Exactly.
You know, back then they had some sort of bridge between us and Africa. I'm very interested to see how they recreate that now, with how they want to portray that relationship and how they want to portray Africa in Hollywood. So it's very interesting to see how that'll play out. But yeah, that's really what this comes down to. They want to make black men look bad, and it's you know what this is? It's basically black feminism. That's what Color Purple is. It's black feminism, the toxic kind.
Facts.
And you know the sad part is, and like I was arguing with Uncle Hotep, I told him the original Color Purple was a classic. It was a classic, and I'm saying that objectively based upon costume, production, writing, the various levels of the story, the different side stories, character development, the depth. It was a really, really well-made movie when you extract the agenda. So the sad part is when this new one comes, it's probably going to be a really great movie. I'm probably going to enjoy the movie outside of the agenda. I mean, they got Taraji P. Henson. I love Taraji. Hate that she's being used in the agenda. Love her. Halle Bailey. I think she's adorable. I think she's a sweetheart. She's going to be used by the agenda. Fantasia. Wonderful talent. So they're going to take the best of our women, the most talented and brilliant of our women, and slap the agenda on them. But for the most part, it's probably going to be a really good movie.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. It's like from a technical level, of course, and I think that's a conversation a lot of people don't want to have, is because like Hollywood, like they do make good movies. Like you can say what you want, but there's a reason why, you know, Avatar or freaking Transformers or Fast and Furious on their 1000th remake is still making like $1 billion. It's because objectively speaking, people still want to go see it, and it's entertaining enough. But most of the time, man, it's just these agendas are just out of control. And yeah, man, I'm telling you, we got to devote like a whole thing to this. We need a Hotep film crew or something, man. Hit me up, bro. I'll be a writer. I got you.
All right, we're gonna make that happen then.
All right, man. Bet. Yo, Hotep and Bill, man. Shout out to everyone in the chat.
Salute, Hotep and Bill. I got a production coming out in the next week or so. I paid for a production. You guys will see it. If you're a member of this channel, I'll tell you what it is. I'll put it in the community, and you guys will get first dibs on it. Yeah, you know, members, Hotep Initiate. I think it's Hotep Initiate or Seeker and Up. I forget what it is, but it's the second tier and up gets all the good behind the scenes stuff. So you guys will, you'll get to see it. Jonah Ryan says, in trans-Pacific, slavery never existed in America. Yeah, people don't talk about the trans-Pacific slavery. That's a good point.
Omar,
you're on the line with Hotep. Talk to me, bro.
Oh, hey, what's up? Yeah, I just had a couple comments about the stereotypes and just a couple theories I had in mind.
Okay.
Wait, is this Hotep Jesus right now?
This is Hotep Jesus.
Oh, my bad, because I guess the stream is a little behind, because I thought you just got done with a conversation with somebody else. My
It's about 10 seconds behind or something like that.
couple things. So first off, there's two stereotypes. I used to work in retail. I was at Bloomingdale's. I sold men's suits and shoes for a while. And check this out. Two things that ring true. Number one, the Asian customers we had, we would avoid them like the plague. If they called them fobs fresh off the boat. And
yes, fobs. I remember that term. Yes.
Yes. So the thing is, so they'll come in with you and they'll pick up all the most expensive items in your department. But then the thing is, you'll spend 4 hours with them. You'll tour the entire floor with them, have them look at book bags, all types of stuff. And then after 5 hours, they look you dead in your face. We were just looking.
Yep.
And it's like, excuse me?
Yep.
Like, I work off commission. Like, what the hell did you just say to me? Like, what the fuck? And then another stereotype.
Well, I want to stop right there because I worked retail too. When the fobs came in, we hid in the back.
That's exactly what we did. We will watch the new hires. Because they'd be all they'd be green, hella excited on their face. Like, oh man, I'm about to get a $5,000 sale. We was like, psych.
Not with them Asians. If they cop something, you better sell them a keychain, man. Just get something worth your time.
Right, and they don't feel guilty either.
No.
You would have sat here and went into your stock room. The stock room is 2 floors. You done pulled out every damn shoe, even the shit that ain't released yet, just hoping on something.
And you got to put all that wood back.
All of it back. And now you're missing out on more money putting all that shit back.
Putting all that shit back.
And then another one, Indian people.
I ain't even going to hold you. The fobs I used to give the worst service to. I ain't going to hold you. I'll be with them. And I'll be looking around for another customer, and I hit him with the "I'll be right back" shit.
Thanks. Oh my God!
You getting one pair of shoes out of me? What'd you say about the Indians, though?
It's so true, man. And then the other one, so Indian people, they will try to bargain you down to the fucking. It's like, dog, you pull a freaking, they'll pull a $900 Ferragamo slip on. Can you take this down? It's like $900. Can you take this down to $500? And what?
They be doing their hair like this and shit.
Yeah, they be trying to be all cool with you and shit the entire time. Like, oh, we friends. We very cool now. If you want, you can look out for me. And it's like, you got me fucked up. I asked one of them straight up. I said, okay. I said, listen, if I do this for you, right? I said, are you going to provide me with a job after this? Because here's what's going to happen. I said, more than likely, Bloomingdale's is going to take note because they're going to notice that money is missing when they start doing some number crunching. That's one. So they can press charges on me. I actually seen this shit happen. We had a homie named Ken. He used to give discounts to all his loyal customers.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting, they call it the walk of shame in retail.
Yeah.
When you get in like police type trouble, they got to walk you out, police and shit.
They send
Only
security,
black dude that worked there too.
The plainclothes security come downstairs and get you?
No, they had them and the cops come get the homie.
Oh,
unfortunately, he was the only black dude there besides me. So then, okay, scratch the stereotypes. On a serious tip, for anybody, if we watch Hotep Jesus, we're definitely into kind of thinking outside the box. Most of us that watch this anyway.
Yeah.
And for like those of us that have trouble kind of getting through to the homies that I guess conspiracy theories are real. I mean, you can really just chop it down to like the most simple, basic shit. Just look at human nature, right? I always say whatever is happening on a micro level is happening on a macro level in terms of human nature, because human nature never changes. We're wired the same.
Okay.
It just expresses itself different in each environment.
Yeah.
So, like, okay, we know in the hood you got gangs. You got Bloods, Crips, BDs, all this shit.
Yeah.
So we know that amongst these gangs, number one, they have initiation practices. So either you get jumped in or what they call getting brought home, or you got to go do a dummy mission with them. Yeah. That's your initiation into a gang. For some people got other shit they got to do. Who knows?
Yeah.
But among secret societies, they have their initiations that they got to do too. See, there's a kind of a parallel right there. Who's to say, and like human beings, we're very tribal by nature. So that doesn't change like when you get like a bunch of O's right next to your number. That don't change at all. You still have those same human instincts. It just expresses itself in a different way.
Big facts.
And so I guess it's like if we have gangs on the block that fight for resources, they fighting for blocks. Like they'll take over blocks and they'll do violent shit to kind of let you know, like, this is my shit now, and vice versa. Sometimes you got to retaliate. You got to do double the hard shit to kind of get that respect.
Mob mentality.
Yes. So if you look at on a global stage, why don't you think, dude, listen, we should have been had flying cars by now. We should have been had nuclear energy. We should have been had all this shit.
Yeah.
But why do you think they don't put that in play? Because, like, listen, it's gangbangers trying to protect their block.
Facts.
I'm trying to protect my rock, dog. I know you got that new Cocoa Pebbles looking rock, but I don't want that shit. I'm trying to keep my, you know what I'm saying, Mucinex booger looking rocks to sell to my fiends. And so
that's sort of like, you know, when they legalized marijuana. They didn't legalize marijuana until they got all the legislation in place so they can tax the shit out of it.
Bingo. Exactly. And so it's just, and then like I have this other thing where I always say I don't trust hyper ambitious people. Like you could always tell, like I even found out the other day that when you do sales jobs, they have you fill out these personality surveys to kind of see what type of person that you are.
Yeah.
And then the reason I don't trust, because super ambitious people, they will basically do anything to achieve a goal, anything. And so when you get to, like, when you start off at a company and you're at the lower rung of the company, everybody's just, you know, they're trying to get a paycheck. But like you'll notice amongst those few, there's a couple people amongst the ranks that are trying to get that management or assistant management position. And you'll notice that they got a little bit more of a cutthroat thing in them than the others.
Yeah.
And so if you just observe, that's human nature expressing itself in a different way. And as you move up in a company, you probably go from assistant manager to regional manager. If you really pay attention, don't get caught up in, you know what I'm saying, your nice little paycheck and your benefits. Take a really look around at your peers around you. You'll notice the higher you go up in a company, the more cutthroat motherfuckers is.
Facts.
And so like
Big
the more,
facts.
and like you worked in the industry.
Yes.
So you know what I'm talking about.
I know that, bro. Stories. I got stories, bro.
Yeah. So like now imagine if human nature, if the most ambitious people, as you move up the rung, people just become more cutthroat, more cutthroat.
Yeah.
Imagine what it's like at like the upper echelons of this shit, where like people be having coffee makers that damn near tickle your balls for you as they make your coffee or whatever other fancy shit that we don't even know about.
But let's go higher than that. Let's go all the way to the top rung of the Illuminati.
Mm-hmm.
People think that they're all in cahoots, and I'm like, nah, I think they be arguing, like you said.
Like with the gang shit, there's different factions of gangs that want their shit. They want their product out here for sale.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what's really going on. Like, you don't have to break it down to dragging people and fucking, you know what I'm saying, demon possession. I mean, sure, if you want to get into that topic of the esoteric, I believe stuff like that is going on.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I really wonder to myself, like, yo, what if these rich people are doing the things that they're doing because they are fucking bored? And here's where I'm going with it.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever played Grand Theft Auto or any video game, if any video game, well, games now are different because they constantly give you new goals to achieve with downloadable content and shit. But back in the day when you beat a game, the game was over. But I'll use Grand Theft Auto as an example. You beat the game. You freaking got all the whips, the freaking jet motorcycle, all the guns you could imagine, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else is there to do? Like, I remember my little brother, like, he would play the game, and after he beat the game, this dude would just go around shooting and killing people just to, like, have fun with the game, though.
Yeah, I used to try to figure out how long I can evade the police and create the most damage. I'd find a nice,
get like the 5 stars, right?
Yeah, I try to, what I would do is I try to find a nice building that had an overhang. So as long as you had the overhang, the choppers couldn't really get to you. because the choppers are the most dangerous ones because, you know, the guys rappel down and they're shooting, da-da-da-da. But if I can catch you from underneath the bridge or whatever, so I'd stand, like in the last Grand Theft Auto, you know, all the way downtown, you had your garage there, and then it was like the highway overpass. So that was a good spot where you could just snipe and take people out, and the police basically had one way in. So you could pretty much camp out there, and then I'd park my getaway vehicle in the back, and they couldn't really chase you on the what you call it, train tracks. So then I'd hop off and then go out the back. But you're right. After you beat the game, you do everything. The only thing you can do now is just be a menace.
I mean, like, think of how these people live. Like, if I got a Honda 2021 Honda Insight, nice little car. If I crashed that bitch, dog, I think I would be like shitting out my eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If they crash their Lambo, they don't give a fuck. They're like, whatever, dude. A Lambo is it's a car to them. It's ironic how when you're rich, you get a bunch of free shit. Now, imagine one thing that's built into humans is that we're built for purpose and we're built to try and find some sort of meaning in life. How the hell can you find meaning in life where you have everything given to you? You can afford whatever you want. How do you find meaning? And that's why, like, people, that's why I think this is their way of finding meaning. Trying to like control populations and things of that nature. They could really just be doing all this, not necessarily because they're evil, but because they're bored, or they might truly think that what they're doing is right. If you was to sit a CIA agent down and talk to him about what he's doing, a CIA agent would tell you, yo, listen, I'm sorry, but I had to initiate killing 10,000 people to save 10 million.
Yes.
Fuck the 10,000.
Yes. I've said that in the past where I said I think sometimes these people think they're actually doing good when they're doing bad. But I think, you know, you had a very great take when you said, you know, what do you do after you beat the game? And you're right. There's nothing to do after they beat the game. So it would make sense that these people start trying to play God.
Play God, like you hear about all this weird spiritual crap that they're into. Maybe that's their way of trying to find out if there's more to life than this.
Yeah.
Because it can't, like, dude, look at Jim Carrey wilding over here doing all type of extra shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to me, he's proof. Like, he said out his mouth, he said, dude, I wish people could have a Lamborghini and all this stuff so they could realize that this isn't what it's about. Now, I personally think Jim Carrey is a shady individual, love the guy, but I don't know. He kind of struck me. He kind of rubbed me wrong.
Yeah, I don't know which way to go with Jim Carrey. Sometimes I'm like, he's a good guy, and then sometimes I'm like, yo, is he the agenda? It's really hard to read him.
It is. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my whole point. I just want to, like, yo, if you just take an honest look at human nature, you could kind of understand why elites do what they do, and then you can understand why the whole system kind of works the way it does. Right. And one last thing, I don't have really a really fleshed out thought behind this, but yo, sometimes I'll be wondering, man, like, yo, what if the world is actually, like, people talk about flat Earth like the last guy. What if the Earth was actually bigger than what they tell us? And maybe beyond the Antarctic walls or whatever the hell, there's actually other land masses where, like, if you've ever seen the show Westworld, there's two movies that I think are reality. You probably gonna think I'm crazy for this, but whatever. So Westworld, I think that show is really what's happening.
I like Westworld.
And here's my theory on that. I got a theory on that. So I don't believe in aliens. I think the narrative around aliens is nonsense. I don't believe in some green, whatever the hell crap. I think if any of that, and if any humanoids exist, I think it's probably a genetic experiment that was let loose upon people. Because, like, think about this. Supposedly the original dog was a wolf. And now somehow, some way, we got the dog to go from the wolf all the way down to a little pocket chihuahua with a big ass head and bulging eyes. How the hell did we do that?
Yeah.
Humans did that.
Yeah.
So who's to say that we didn't do the same thing with humans too?
Well, who's to say that humans aren't the pocket chihuahua?
What'd you say?
Who's to say that the humans aren't the pocket chihuahua?
That's true. That's true. But then, like, my theory goes, here's what I think. I think there was a time where humans were very advanced beyond anything that we could conceptualize.
Yeah.
But if you look around the Earth, there's different craters all over the planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I believe if you pay attention to a lot of things in life, it's kind of like the Matrix. You'll notice everything kind of happens in cycles, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think like even the economy, I forget what economist said this shit, but he said that our economy is based off of human nature and it goes in cycles. But it's like an exponential cycle that keeps getting bigger and it falls harder and it gets bigger and it falls harder.
Yeah.
So my thing is, what if there was once a time we were all advanced, some cataclysmic event happened that knocked the majority of us off the map, but a couple of us survived. Who knows why, but we survived. And so their knowledge of old, of esoteric, or maybe we used to heal each other with music frequencies, whatever, they kept that information to themselves because it gave them power, right?
Yes.
And as every cycle that basically begins, it's like the game of telephone, sort of. If you've ever played a game of telephone, by the time it gets one phone to the end, it's changed.
Yeah.
So every cycle, the rest of us, we're like the plebs that are just kind of dumb, just going through the motions. But the elites, their ancestry has had access to knowledge that has kept them on top.
Yes.
And that knowledge, it goes back to where we were all advanced.
Yes.
And so what if, like, and so like there's this place called Skinwalker Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly is where all this like a lot of paranormal stuff happens.
Mm-hmm.
If you look into the numbers, there's a lot of really big companies that are invested in that, big billionaires that are invested in that property. What if it's because the reason they're invested in it is because they're trying to find clues? Like, you can only remember so much that your great-great-grandfather told you.
Are you familiar
about.
with the Devil's Triangles?
Yes.
Are you familiar
That's
with
like the Bermuda Triangle, right? You talking about?
Yeah. Are you familiar with Coral Castle?
That one I don't know, no.
Coral Castle down in Florida?
No, I never heard of that one, actually. No.
Yeah, check that one out, too. Two interesting phenomena.
Okay, I mean, Skinwalker Ranch is pretty much in the realm of Bermuda Triangle, so I'm glad you mentioned that. So yeah, I think that human beings, we were once advanced, because like, and the part that makes me like our entire life is pay to play. Our entire life is pay to play.
That goes back to my theory before, where I said, humanity is not progressing, we're digressing. We're going backwards in evolution. We're not going forward in evolution. Even in technology, technology is actually ruining the human being. Things that were once possible are no longer possible because we have relied on technology so much. So I definitely believe that the ancients are far more advanced than we were, and mostly because they were more in touch with the natural way of doing things, the natural way of travel, the natural way of communication, the natural way of heating and refrigeration. Yeah.
Absolutely. And like, I think the crumbs of that is when you look at people that are like, there's people that are very energy sensitive. Like I know some people that if they come around you, they can see your life force and they can kind of sense if you're going to die and like stuff like that. Because they can see the energy around you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're electromagnetic beings, and I don't know, man. Like I truly get, like, if a spaceship was to land today and that little goofy red carpet rolled out from the spaceship, I would not be surprised if the aliens were us. I would not be surprised.
No, I think the aliens are definitely humans.
To me, it's like it has to be. I don't know if this is true. This is like one of them internet joints, and I tried to look into it. I'll research it myself. I'll be looking into stuff. And supposedly, I think in the 70s, they said they created it's Shell engineers. They created an engine that could give you 1,000 miles per gallon in the 70s.
Yeah. Well, they got engines. They got engines that run on water that they won't allow us to have.
Homie in that grocery store shooting died. That, from what I understand, that created. But that's a whole other topic.
Yeah. But look, I got to get to some more callers, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. It was good chopping it up.
Absolutely, man. Hotep and Bill, bro.
For sure.
We got that nigga. We go all day with the goddamn conspiracies, man. I tend not to have those conversations, though. Those conversations are. I was having those conversations when I was 20-something. They're cool to have, when you're like high and drunk and you're hanging out with friends. But You know, I tend to prefer more conversations that are here on Earth than otherworldly. But there's a lot of truth to what he said. And, you know, like I said, you can sit here all day and run down all the different conspiracy theories. And I'll tell you what, Antarctica is something fishy with Antarctica. I ain't even going to hold you. I think it's something fishy going on in Antarctica. You can only travel there certain times a year. I looked it up. I was like, oh, I want to book a trip to Antarctica. And they're like, well, you can only book this trip between this time and this time. Yo, you on the line with Hotep. What's up, man?
Yo, what's good, Hotep Jesus?
What's good? What's good, bro?
Hey, I just want to call in, say what's good. I listened for a long time, making niggas smarter, less ignorant. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I appreciate
I'm out
that.
here in the hood, got my dogs. I listened to the last call talk about aliens and shit. You don't get on some Bobby Hemmett, man. You don't get on some Bobby Hemmett, man. We just gonna leave it at that. Get on some Bobby Hemmett, man. Brother Panic still alive, man. Project Rick, man. Quit playing.
What's
You know what the fuck going on?
What's the update in the hood right now?
Man, right now, shit, somebody, well, it warms my heart sometimes. I mean, I live in the hood, but I see white crackheads every day.
Yeah.
Man, that drug, dude, that fentanyl, yeah, it feels good, don't it? Motherfucking butt. Shit, not much. Just wanted to call in. I fucking caught the last end of the show. Niggas talking about aliens and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm on my stocks right now.
All right.
Wake up, get some crypto in.
Yeah.
Love you, man.
All right, love
Yes,
you, bro.
sir.
2 p.m.
Yes,
we here
sir.
every day, bro.
Yes, sir. I'll call tomorrow.
All right, Hotep and Bill.
Yes, sir. Hotep and Bill, nigga.
Hood Cut called in to check in on me. Shout out to the Hood. I love the Hood, man. The Hood is very based. I ain't gonna hold you. You know, all these conversations we having about aliens and flat Earth, you could go to some of the hoodest motherfuckers and they will sit there and have these conversations with you. Because in the Hood, like, you know, we get high and we watch documentaries. We don't be watching bullshit. Like, your average Hotep comes straight out the Hood and they know what's going on. They be questioning that day in New York City, and the Hood is definitely aware, you know, and that's one thing I want the red whites to understand. They think the Hood is like not privy to what's going on out here. The Hood is moving crypto, you know, like I remember some people reached out to me, hey, we want you to be Black Outreach, you know, and I'm like, Black Outreach? Man, you know, niggas is into this crypto shit already. They don't need Hotep Jesus to tell them about it. It's the red whites that need help. I swear everybody's in crypto except for the red whites. I don't get it. The red whites are just fucking stuck in the past. It's like trying to introduce them to the computer. Shout out to Syscoin, by the way. No, I can't remember, Kay. I've been trying to remember, but it's just not coming back to me. It must not have been that important. Let's see. And it was like a very quick like thought I had, and then you were speaking, and I try to like give people 100% my attention, so it just never registered in my brain. But it probably wasn't that important. Strong Dad Protocol said LeBron still ain't finished that book yet. Yo, the autobiography of Malcolm X was a book I hadn't read until my adult years. I read it, I don't know, was it last year or the year before? Right when LeBron had the book. When I saw LeBron with the book, I was like, yeah, I never did read that. And my family had a copy, Alex Haley. So I went and I downloaded a copy of the Alex Haley autobiography of Malcolm X. And I thought it was a fantastic piece of work. You know, being the knick-knock that I am, I enjoyed the first half of the book more than the second half. You know, like Detroit Red was the fucking man. That shit was like a movie. And then once he turned into Malcolm X, I'm like, oh, this guy's a square, bro. It's not what you're supposed to think about the book. You know, he was definitely a really, what I would say the greatest thing about Malcolm X, not Detroit Red, Malcolm X, although Detroit Red, he probably got those skills from Detroit Red, but he was persuasive. You know, Scott Adams talks about persuasion and charisma. And when they were talking about what Malcolm X was doing, they were like, yo, we need to set up a mosque and such and such. And he'd have a mosque set up in like 30 days. with members, like paying dues members. And I'm like, Adeptus Santos said, do people call in ever to glaze you? Well, first of all, pause. Ain't nobody glazing Hotep Jesus. I know that's probably some term you use where you from, but around here, glaze don't mean that. I think you mean argue with me, try to roast me. No, it doesn't happen. We usually have a very mature audience on this side of YouTube. I've had people try to argue with me and debate me though. But yeah, so, the fact that he was able to set up those mosques really fast, I just thought was remarkable. I'm like, yo, you just setting up chapter after chapter all across the nation. I just thought like was absolutely amazing. Jonah Ryan said Merrick prosecuted McVeigh. The rerun is coming. Oh boy, here we go. We're gonna check the trending topics before we get out of here. Retro Neon just became a Hotep initiate. Welcome, bro. Welcome. I got some behind the scenes shit coming for y'all soon.
Call from
Kay.
Kay, what up? What up? What up? What up?
Hey, I'm calling back. I wanted to add, when it comes to kind of dividing people and all that stuff, I wanted to add to it. Here is the way that you divide people and you break them down.
Okay.
Low self-esteem.
Low self-esteem. Yes. That's a good
Yes.
one. That's a good one. Absolutely.
That's why you have
You can
to
only
keep
prey on
fighting
people
against-
with low self-esteem. That's a good point. Yeah.
Thank you. That's how you divide people. I mean, look at the, because I used to be a model, look at the modeling industry. You do not look good unless you adhere to these standards. Therefore, you have men and women thinking that they're not good enough until they adhere to these standards. Then you have racial standards. You're not good enough until you abide by the racial standards we're telling you. Then you have people with low self-esteem believing that. But then you keep people dumb with the chemicals that you put in the air, the chemicals that you put in them, the chemicals that they ingest, and you keep them at that level. And sometimes it's hard for people to change. Either they've never been talked to about it, or they don't want to be talked to about it, because I was a social worker for several years, and I could always see the people that were on the SSRIs, that were on some kind of mood-altering medication or something like that. You can always tell those people. And sometimes people would never stop to talk to those individuals, so they would get frustrated. They were never having things broken down to them. They were never talked to. They were never given the chance to understand things, because you had people at a higher standard than them saying, I know what's best for you, and I'm going to do this to you, not knowing that the medicational industry is $1 trillion and beyond industry. Same as when it comes to the weight loss industry. It's $1 trillion and beyond. We don't know which people are having issues trying to lose weight, whether it be medical, psychological, or anything like that. And it's like, nobody wants to help these people. They want to keep them on the same level so that they can control and divide them.
Yeah, it creates dependency.
Mm-hmm.
But, the funny thing is, when you're dealing with people who have low self-esteem, and you mention, the things that create that low self-esteem, it's really hard for them to face those things, because you need a high self-esteem to start to tackle those things. So it's almost like a really bad loop.
Well, and it's also, you need to come to the root of the problem. And a lot of people don't come to the root of the problem, or they do not want to go into that unresolved issue because it's still causing them constant trauma. So to pull them out of that area and help them, they have to be ready to leave that mindset and that controlled trauma that is bringing them down. And if they're not wanting to, if they have got that Stockholm syndrome, if they feel like the Nightingale effect, you know, they've come to love their low self-esteem, they've come to love their issues, they are, a lot of them are gone already.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Past the point of no
And
return.
I think, yeah, and I think this culture, I mean, the Western culture is full of a lot of people, whether they admit it or not, of low self-esteem. I mean, look at in different countries, too, where it's like to be beautiful is to be fair, to be light, and to be darker is to not be fair, beautiful, pretty, and all that stuff. That stuff takes effect in people's minds. And it's like if there's nobody there to resolve that issue, or that's the popular way that's going on, people aren't going to change. They're going to think, okay, well, this celebrity and this person in the news and the person in the magazine is telling me this is what I should be to be pretty. I'm going to believe them versus my own family members saying, no, I don't, because the people on TV and the people in media have the most pull and the most influence on you.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah, so that's all I wanted to add to my kind of pull together what I was talking about.
Nah, I appreciate you. K on the check-in, y'all.
Yeah.
Hotep and Bill, love. That's K, y'all. She right. There's a whole lot of light-skinned programming going around. I think, you know, a lot of it has come to do with, you know, casting, who they cast in some of these roles and primary roles and who the love interest is, et cetera, et cetera. You know what's funny about The Color Purple is they found an ugly girl to play Whoopi Goldberg, but then they'll tell you everybody's beautiful. But it's like, how do you cast an ugly person? You go, hey, we need an ugly person, or is this person ugly enough? Like, it's really hard for me to understand.
Call from
Rudy the Vet.
Rudy, what up, man?
Hey, man, double dipping, man, because I wanted to tell you a story, man. I wanted to tell you a story when you were talking about the tipping thing, right?
All right, go ahead.
I want to tell you a quick comical story. So when I was in the game and I was rolling real hard, right? I used to go to this restaurant every day, and I tipped so good. That I had you know, and there was this waitress that I had my eye on, and then my PNC, he tipped with, you know, we would go there every day after the gym. My PNC, he had his eye on this other waitress. We tipped so good that one day both them waitresses were working at the same time, and my brother, they straight up got into a fist fight over who got to serve us, dude.
Yo.
I just wanted to lighten up the conversation, man. My right-handed guy, dude, my right-handed guy on everything I love in this world. Them two waitresses got into a knockdown, drag-out fist fight over who got to serve us.
No, you absolutely right. I've seen that happen before. I've seen girls like, no, those are my regulars. No, they're my regulars. Yeah, it gets like that.
That's exactly how it kicked off, dude. And then, I mean, but we couldn't believe it. And then the manager come out. Both ended up getting canned, man. But it was hilarious, man. I've seen two waitresses get into a knockdown, drag-out fist fight because we tipped so good.
That's hilarious.
But that's when I was making all that good old green money, man. But you know, I still try to tip decently, man. But I mean, I just wanted to lighten up the conversation, man, because it felt like one of those good grift days, man. Like the dark side wasn't really here, man. It felt like the light side of the force, man.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to lighten up the grift with that story, man. Sorry to double dip, man. Hotep and Bill, brother.
Hey, no problem. Hotep and Bill, bro. Rudy's always welcome on this show, man. He's always welcome. You can call 30 times. I don't give a damn. You're Rudy. I saw somebody else trying to call in, get in here. And then I seen somebody tag me in a tweet, said I'm bugging today. What the hell is going on? Okay. I often wonder if everything I worry about on Twitter is even real. I go outside and shit is normal. Facts. Cernovich says we were in Chicago a couple years ago having ice cream with kids, baby. An unhoused person put me in a situation where I had to balance Soros DA treatment versus harm to my kids from him. The low life did go away with some prompting. Twitter is very much real life. What? Bryson Gray says, no, it isn't. Cernovich says, yes, sure it is. And it's silly to say otherwise. So Bryson says, so this happens to you majority of the time you go out during a year? That makes sense to you? But somebody tagged me in this tweet. Hold on, let me take this caller.
Call from.
Yo, what up, bro? You on the line with Hotep Jesus?
Shit, I meant Kate, not Kate. But hey, yo, it's Jonah. Call back. Here's the fun thing. When we go to she was talking about the chemicals, right? That Big Pharma for us, right?
Yeah.
It's all petrochemicals, right? Started with Rockefeller back in the day. Now, Rockefeller is the one who actually created all the schools and or not created the schools, but then he took over all the schooling, right? So then he actually set up the system where you have all these kids that are diminished, whatnot, and then they end up having to get all their chemicals through, the petrochemicals through what they call prescriptions, which just do us no good.
Yeah.
Like, so it's literally double dipping on like making us ill, you know.
Yeah.
And then they bought into the food, and then they're triple dipping, right?
Mm-hmm.
So again, too, I always tell people like where I am, I actually order all my meats, etc. I order straight from the farm here. So I do that at least, because anything you're going to get from a grocery here in North America is going to be toxic, and then like Canada is bad, but you guys are far worse.
Yeah, this is true. It's true. You gotta start farming on your own. I'm trying to get there myself.
Yeah. But I was going to touch on that. Like, we could go into SRIs and amphetamines, which were on a chemical independency, which was never proven. And then they actually give, they have a side effect of psychosis and schizophrenia. And they prescribe them, for continual use for children. Like, who's making this decision, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, I sent you though when the other guy was talking about the Illuminati stuff. I sent you in a clip where Kevin Hart was talking with the Jay-Z, and he's talking about the door beyond the door, and literally, I think Kevin Hart's got a new clone after that discussion. If you watch it.
All right, I'm gonna check it out, bro.
Anyways, yeah, I thought I'd put that in because like I say, everyone needs to like find the local source for like at least the meats and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because by the time they're chlorinated, by the time they're actually injected, so they can sit on the shelf longer.
Yeah.
Like that's people talk about they want for healthcare. Well, healthcare starts with what you put in your mouth, you fuckhead.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey man, appreciate the call, bro.
What's up, Bill?
Hi, yo. Jonah, you gotta put the phone away from your mouth, bro. You be like all up in the motherfucking mic. What is going on here? What is this argument I'm being tagged in? This guy says you and Hotep Jesus are not making much sense today. Okay, so he's following 472 people and has 157 followers. Okay, first things first, people. When you have less than 1,000 followers, you want to keep a 10-to-1 ratio. That means you should have, if you have 10 followers, you should only be following one person. So you want to have a 10-to-1 ratio. This guy's ratio is lopsided. So that right there tells me I can't take him serious. He has no clout. He has no influence. And he's just not worth my time. But I'm trying to figure out, what am I being tagged in here? Okay, let's follow the thread here. So somebody says it's not. I'm a raging Trump supporter in Liberal Kingdom, Washington, D.C. area. You'd be surprised what happens when you talk to people about politics. Real life isn't Twitter. People have way more in common than you think. That's true. And then Cernovich posts this, and it says Washington, D.C. So he posts this story from 2022. What does this say here? Washington, D.C. records back-to-back years with 200 murders for the first time in nearly 20 years. What does that have to do with Twitter? I don't get that. So Bryson says 200 murders is a lot, but compare to the population and then tell me what's your chance of being murdered in D.C. Then this guy, Michael Coffin, is he anybody? Again, another person with a lopsided follow count. To be fair, you don't have to be murdered for the crime rate to affect you or your family. And Bryson says in most cities, the crime are in specific neighborhoods, and typically it never affects families in good neighborhoods, so it kind of does. And then I'm sure Cernovich linked the article here where something happens in the suburbs And then Bryson says, how many times does that happen, Cerno? I know you're smart enough to know what the word typically means. And I'm sure you know what common means. How many times does this happen in a year? You can't single out cases to prove a general point that you made. And he's right. And this guy says, you and Hotep Jesus are not making much sense today. And he responds, even though what we're saying is logically consistent, I can prove it. Y'all the ones being inconsistent. I wonder why that is. I wonder why you've never said this when we say the same thing to other black people. He said, this is the same shit I'm talking about. We can't complain about crime or we're racist now. I don't know what your end goal is. Yeah, he just made up a whole new sentence. Who is this guy? He follows me? Well, not anymore. Not anymore. You didn't make the cut, bro. You didn't make the cut. Sorry. I gotta do him a favor. It's not for me. It's for him. It's for him. If I don't make sense, let me help you out and just remove myself from your world. Then you don't gotta worry about me anymore. Problem solved. You can go fucking follow somebody else and complain about somebody else. It's just so weird. I tweeted one time today. I made an observation, which is true, that these racial videos have currency on both sides of the political aisle, and somehow I don't make sense. David Murdoch Art, what up, bro? Polynesians get Manoa, Hispanics get Coco, Chinese get Mulan, and black folks get Blackwash Mermaid. They actively avoid giving attention to African culture and values. Maybe it gets in the way of the rainbow programming. Nailed it. Yeah, he got kicked off the team, bro. We had to kick bro off the team. He ain't make the cut, bro. He ain't make the cut. Jonah Ryan sent you the Jay-Z Kevin Hart clip. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I really don't get into all of the conspiracy theories and the videos about Hollywood. That shit was cool when I was 20, and you know, who did this and who did that, and you know, who, what, and where. I like fucking reading books about monetary policy and banking. That's what I do in my spare time, and communism and economics and culture. This is the things I study in my spare time. As a matter of fact, since you guys are here, how about I share with you one of my favorite channels on YouTube? You guys want that? You guys want to know? You guys want you want that? Hold on, let me find it for you. Really good stuff here. It is, I ain't gonna hold you, it's a little woke. It's a little woke. A little bit. But it's really good. Really good stuff. Hold on. Okay, so my channel, and I believe this should be in my liked videos. Okay, here we go. Finding it now. And where are we? You know what's in my liked videos? That's a really good channel. I'll show you right now. This is absolutely amazing, beautiful woman.
You didn't need that, but you didn't trust yourself.
Project
Rook.
Rook.
That's the problem. You slipped up this time.
Project Rook. Yeah, I gotta check that out. Great channel.
It's okay. Right? It's not about right or wrong. It's about knowing.
I got this one in my like too. I watch this one every once in a while. I have to revisit this one. This is a really good lecture by her. It's Project Rook. She'll be at HotepCon, by the way. Hold on. I can't show you everything in my likes. Let's go back.
I don't care what the prognosis is.
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? No, that's not it. No. And after you, I think I've devoured pretty much everything on this channel. and certain videos I've watched several dozen times on this channel. Damn, I passed it somewhere in here. Oh, I could probably search it and find it. It's this dude with an English accent, and he does these like college style lectures. I think it's a college course on German history, Russian history. Damn, why is it not here? Maybe it's in my watch later. That's what it is. It's in my watch later. I'm sorry. My bad. Here it is. Found it. Found the channel. Here we go. Put this on the screen. This guy right here, Simon Hines. You guys ever heard of this? It's only got 7,000 subscribers, but he has these series. So as you can see here, peace treaties 19 to 23, the formation of the League of Nations, which is now the United Nations, World War II, Cold War, Cuba, Vietnam, Hitler and Nazi Germany. But the one I really like is this one. This is on the Weimar Republic, or the Weimar Republic. That one's really good. And then he has this one, which I found fascinating. This is on the German Revolution. This one's a 27-minute video. I've listened to this 27-minute video a whole bunch of times. I think he's got 42K views on here. At least 1,000 of these are mine. At least. Cannon's texting me. What is Cannon going? Oh shit, Cannon's with Reaction PR. Fire. Shout out to Reaction PR and Cannon. They hanging out together. I love when fam from the internet hang out together. Y'all seen this channel before? Vader said, I'm hiding the pogs in my liked videos. Nah, chill. Chill. I don't look at debauchery on YouTube. He said, I'm hiding Ruby Rose. Oh, I love Ruby. I love Ruby. She's my guilty pleasure. But no, I don't use my YouTube for that stuff. It'll screw the algorithm up and I won't get the videos I want to see. It'll just be booty everywhere. Home team history? Nah, I haven't seen that one. I mean, I may have. I can look at it now and see if I have. But this guy, Simon Hines, German Revolution. Home team history. Okay, let me see. Okay. All right, I'll check them out. I'll check them out. Let me go ahead and put one of them here. Boom.
You'll find
I'll check that out. I don't really like studying African history. I gotta be honest with you. Mostly because I did that for like 20 years. I'm kind of exhausted on African history. I'm like, everything I've wanted to know, like, you know, when you're black and you're raised in America, you're miseducated, they hide information from you. So there's all these questions in your mind, right? About your existence and your history and your lineage. So I spent 20 years answering those questions that I had, and I've gotten all my answers, all of my questions answered. So I'm kind of done with that. Now I have a whole bunch of questions about white people and European history that I'm still trying to find answers to. So, like, if you're not going to show me anything about European history, even U.S. history, I'm fairly interested in. But I like studying white people history now because there's so much that they haven't taught us or glazed over that, like, that's the shit I'm interested in now. Fuck all that African history shit. Some of y'all might need some African history, white and black. But yeah, I know I've heard of Whitney Webb. Yeah. But I'm sort of worn out on African history. I got all my answers I needed. I don't need any more of that stuff. You know, except for, you know, I'll listen to Kaba all day. That's where I get my African history from. Kaba and Shaka. So, like, I don't even go to YouTube. I got direct access to mentors. I call Shaka and he'll give me 3-hour lecture on African history anytime I want. So like I get my fill hanging out with my mentor. So when I'm not with my mentor, I'm studying shit that he can't teach me. You know? What time is it? 4:33. Perfect. What am I about to do? I'm going to add the timestamps to this video immediately after this is over. My stomach feels funny, so I think I'll probably eat something. I'm going to see what the kids are doing, reinforce some learning with them. We got soccer practice later. Today's Tuesday. Today's actually my day off. I don't have to stream later, so this is the only stream I have to do. I'll probably put in some hours on Master Focus. Make sure y'all get y'all subscription to Master Focus. Coupon code. If you hit the link in the box below, it's exclusive to this channel. You can't get that link anywhere else on the internet. So hit that link. It automatically applies the discount and get you some Master Focus. You know, the best thing about it is it has antidepressant properties. So it just makes you feel good. And then as a result, you know, you have the gut cleaning effects, the promotion of brain regeneration. It regenerates your brain. I know there's some billionaire out there that's like taking his son's blood and trying to become young. So whatever. So there's going to be some brain regeneration, make your brain work at optimal capacity, get those neurons firing, or I should say synapses firing. Yeah. But yeah, I'm here every day, Monday through Friday, not every day, Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern time for the Grift Report. Hit subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you tomorrow. If you have something you'd like me to cover, hashtag GriftBag and tag me on Twitter. If it gets added, I'll hit the like button. I might respond, I might not respond, but if it gets added to the Grift Bag, I'll hit the like button. If I don't respond, I just don't think it's worth the grift. Holla at y'all later, man.
Most of you will be replaced by AI, but it doesn't have to be this way. You can become AI resistant, but you will need to outperform the machines. You may not think this is possible, but it is. The infiniteness of human consciousness is more infinite than the power of the machine. You may not know how to tap into this power, but we do, and we will show you how. Join us in this journey to make the machine our servant.